Chapter 975. How may I be of service to you? A middle-aged dark-skinned robot looked at the little thieving cat and spoke with interest. Meow meow. The little thieving cat took off the dark golden necklace from its neck. The dark golden necklace instantly turned into a dark golden dragon snake whip that twisted in the air. The dark-skinned middle-aged man's eyes lit up as he inspected the dark golden dragon snake whip. Merge a dragon tendon into this weapon? The dark-skinned middle-aged man understood what the little thieving cat meant. Meow meow. The little thieving cat entered the misty spatial world and took out some of the materials that Zhao Feng had obtained from the ancient dimension. Zhao Feng's eyes paused. The materials that the little thieving cat took out were all very valuable. The forging tower does have some dragon tendons. Here's the price. The dark-skinned man pointed out with his finger, and a screen of light appeared in the air. There were many types of dragon tendons on it, and the price was enough to make normal mystic light realm sacred lords go bankrupt. Meow meow. The little thieving cat looked at Zhao Feng and revealed a begging gaze. Zhao Feng obviously understood what the little thieving cat meant. The dragon tendon was the main material needed to strengthen the dark golden dragon snake whip. Its value far surpassed the materials that the little thieving cat had just taken out of the misty spatial world. Zhao Feng nodded his head helplessly. The little thieving cat then took out a large amount of resources and primal crystal stones from the misty spatial world to pay for the dragon tendon. Zhao Feng was slightly stunned. The total value of these resources was almost 10 times the amount that the little thieving cat had used to strengthen the Shadow Kill Imperial Dagger. However, the resources in Zhao Feng's hands were completely different from before. He would be generous this time. Several hours later, the dark-skinned middle-aged robot took out a dark golden dragon snake whip from a mysterious furnace. The red light on the surface of the dark golden dragon snake whip started to fade, and a layer of bright gold lines appeared on its surface. The entire dragon snake whip seemed to become more agile. Meow! The little thieving cat grabbed it, and a silver-gray light merged into it. The dark golden dragon snake whip instantly twisted in the air and turned into a dark golden longbow. The little thieving cat aimed the dark golden longbow at Zhao Feng and lightly pulled the bowstring, as if it was showing off. Zhao Feng was slightly taken aback. It seemed like the enhanced dark gold dragon snake whip was much more flexible. Zhao Feng hesitated for a moment before leaving the forging tower. He currently did not have any weapons or equipment that he needed to enhance. Zhao Feng hadn't fully grasped the skylocking bow yet, but the Ice Imperial Spear had already reached its peak. As for the cost of customizing weapons and equipment, even the current Zhao Feng would have to cough up blood. I'll deal with what I need first. If there are any leftovers, perhaps I can consider upgrading the skylocking bow. Zhao Feng made up his mind. After all, he had no idea how long it would be before he could return to the Fecta Civilization city. Right now, he had a lot of resources on hand. Many of the items weren't very useful to Zhao Feng, so it was naturally best to spend them all here. Zhao Feng and the little thieving cat then went to the Divine Techniques Palace. In the Divine Techniques Palace, there were secret manuals for sale. They provided all kinds of cultivation methods, and other solutions. Zhao Feng's 5-elemental wind lightning technique and Golden Quin's sacred lightning body had been fused together in the Fecta city last time. Guests from afar, do you have any requests for custom-made techniques? A scholarly elder gave a kind smile as he looked at the little thieving cat in surprise. I need a soul-type eye fusion and possession technique? Zhao Feng told him why he was here. The Eye of Death was also a soul-type eye, and its abilities were extremely powerful. If he could use the Eye of Death well, Zhao Feng was obviously willing. Looks like this guest has obtained an eye related to one of the 8 great god eyes. The scholarly elder's eyes flashed. That's right. Zhao Feng was stunned. This elder should only be an automaton of the Divine Techniques Palace, but he was able to guess that Zhao Feng had obtained an eye related to one of the 8 great god eyes. Guests, there's no need to be surprised. The eye related to one of the 8 great god eyes are all soul-type inheritances, and I can feel a strong eye bloodline aura from your body. The scholarly elder in white light gave a kind smile. Guest, take a look and see which one you want. The scholarly elder pointed out with his finger, and a screen appeared in the air. Many techniques flashed and disappeared. Soon, only the soul-type eye-stealing techniques were left. The screen then quickly moved in front of Zhao Feng. So expensive! Zhao Feng was first stunned by the price of these secret techniques. There were a total of 8 eye-stealing techniques here, and the price of each one far surpassed the resources the little thieving cat needed to strengthen the dark golden dragon snake whip. Guess, these secret techniques are in low demand, so they aren't easy to sell. This is already the lowest price. The scholarly elder shook his head. Even in the continent zone, there were very few people who needed the soul eye possession art. The scholarly elder didn't lie to Zhao Feng. Putting aside the fact that eye bloodlines were already rare, most eye bloodlines were taken over in the physical dimension. The soul was too dangerous. Even if someone obtained an eye bloodline, they wouldn't dare to use it rashly. Zhao Feng carefully looked at the information on the screen. In order to ensure the success rate and feasibility of these secret techniques, Zhao Feng decided to ignore the price. I want the soul eye refining technique. Zhao Feng's gaze finally stopped at a certain place. Zhao Feng then looked at the price and took in a deep breath. Calculating it, this would cost almost 30% of Zhao Feng's resources. One had to know that all of Zhao Feng's resources were accumulated in the Divine Illusion Dimension and the Imperial Tombs. The most valuable part came from the Black Wind Canyon Forbidden Ground. Even the total resources of a normal Sacred King wouldn't be as much as Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng couldn't imagine the value of this soul eye refining technique if it cost 30% of his resources. However, if he could use the Eye of Death perfectly, it would be worth it. Customer, the soul eye refining technique you chose just happens to be the best technique out of all of them. The scholarly elder revealed a bright smile and praised Zhao Feng for his good taste. In the end, Zhao Feng paid for the soul eye refining technique. The scholarly elder took out a book of light from a bookshelf and gave it to Zhao Feng. As he was about to leave, Zhao Feng suddenly remembered the incomplete 10,000 divine thoughts technique. Zhao Feng obviously wouldn't waste any time since he could buy the complete 10,000 divine thoughts technique. Furthermore, the 10,000 divine thoughts technique should be a low-tier heaven-grade technique, so its price wouldn't be too high. Do you have the 10,000 divine thoughts technique here? Zhao Feng asked. Coincidentally, I have the 10,000 divine thoughts technique here. The elder smiled confidently. He took out a book of light from the bookshelf behind him and told Zhao Feng the price. This price is a bit too expensive, Zhao Feng said. The price of the complete 10,000 divine thoughts technique was far more than what the little thieving cat had spent on strengthening the dark golden dragon snake whip. Zhao Feng couldn't understand this. Little friend, since you know this technique, you obviously know its value. This is a mid-tier heaven-grade technique, so the price is very fair. The elder explained to Zhao Feng for a while and acted like he was offering the lowest price. Middle-tier heaven-grade? Zhao Feng paused for a moment. He didn't expect the complete 10,000 divine thoughts technique to be at the mid-tier heaven grade. Zhao Feng then remembered that Duan Wuqing wasn't sure what rank the 10,000 divine thoughts technique was and only said that it might be at the heaven grade. If it really was at that rank, then the price wasn't high. At the same time, Zhao Feng also remembered that the Heaven's Legacy City of the 18 Corners Pirate Emperor Sacred Land was in urgent need of primal crystal stones. Thus, the prices of all goods and services were discounted and relatively low. The Heaven's Legacy City in the Imperial Tombs didn't lack resources at all. Every 500 years, 4 princes and many experts would come here, and they would use up almost all the resources they had. This caused the prices of the items here to slowly rise. In other words, the prices in this Heaven's Legacy City were even higher than the Heaven's Legacy City in the 18 Corners Pirate Sacred Land. Okay, I'll take it. Zhao Feng gritted his teeth and said. Zhao Feng then took out a large amount of resources and bought the complete 10,000 Divine Thoughts technique. Also, little friend, I have the next part of the 10,000 Divine Thoughts technique. Do you want to take a look? Seeing Zhao Feng being so generous, the elder smiled faintly and continued to promote the technique to Zhao Feng. It wasn't easy for an employer to come, and the first thing he wanted was a top-tier technique. He obviously wouldn't let Zhao Feng go so easily. What? The next part of the 10,000 divine thoughts technique? Zhao Feng was a bit surprised. He hadn't heard his master mention this before. However, the Duanwu family had probably obtained the 10,000 divine thoughts technique by accident, and the Duanwu family didn't even know if there was a next part. Yes, this is a soul-cultivating technique created by the expert who wrote the 10,000 divine thoughts technique. The elder introduced it to Zhao Feng. A soul-cultivating technique? Zhao Feng was a bit surprised, and he fell into deep thought. It wouldn't take long for Zhao Feng to cultivate the 10,000 divine thoughts technique to the level of creating 10,000 thoughts with one thought, so he really had to consider other soul-cultivating techniques. Moreover, the 10,000 divine thoughts technique was indeed the best soul-cultivating technique he had seen so far. Since it was the next part of the 10,000 divine thoughts technique, its level should be higher, but Zhao Feng didn't dare to imagine its price. Moreover, Zhao Feng had always wanted to find other uses for the Thunder Soul body, and soul-cultivating techniques should be the most direct way. Zhao Feng couldn't help but be tempted. Can you tell me what's inside? Zhao Feng suddenly felt that even though he had so many resources in this place, it wasn't enough. This technique is called the soul-splitting technique, and it's a soul-cultivating technique. There's also a soul-cultivating technique, but I can't tell you anything else. The elder didn't reveal too much information. He looked at Zhao Feng and smiled mysteriously. At the same time, the scholarly elder told Zhao Feng the price of the soul-splitting technique. It seems very cheap. Zhao Feng was confused. Since the expert who wrote the 10,000 divine thoughts technique wrote a soul-cultivating technique, it wouldn't be too bad. However, the price seemed to be lower than the complete 10,000 divine thoughts technique. At this moment, the little thieving cat threw the ancient coin in its hand. Meow meow. The little thieving cat was very supportive of Zhao Feng buying the soul-splitting technique. Okay, I'll buy the soul-splitting technique too. Chapter 976. Zhao Feng gritted his teeth and took out a large amount of resources to exchange for the soul-splitting technique. Then, the elegant old man handed an ancient book of light to Zhao Feng. Buzz. The contents of the book of light quickly entered Zhao Feng's mind. Zhao Feng's expression darkened as he glanced at it. I was tricked by this old man. The soul-splitting technique and the 10,000 divine thoughts technique were indeed created by the same person. It turned out that the soul-splitting technique was also an incomplete soul cultivation technique, and it did contain some soul-secret techniques. However, what made Zhao Feng speechless was that the soul-splitting technique only had the first level. Although it was an incomplete soul cultivation technique, it was still too incomplete, wasn't it? Zhao Feng was tricked, but the old man didn't lie to Zhao Feng when he sold the technique. It could only be said that Zhao Feng had underestimated this mechanical puppet. At this moment, all the contents of the soul-splitting technique were imprinted in Zhao Feng's mind, so it was impossible for him to get a refund. Zhao Feng finally understood why the soul-splitting technique was cheaper than the 10,000 divine thoughts technique. Zhao Feng was slightly angry, and he looked at the elegant old man in front of him. As expected, all the businesses in the world were black-hearted, and even mechanical puppets were no exception. Seeing Zhao Feng's expression, the elegant old man smiled apologetically and said, Sir, although the soul-splitting technique is incomplete, it will be at least a top-tier heaven-grade technique if it's completed. Therefore, although the soul-splitting technique only has one level, it's indeed the cheapest price. Zhao Feng didn't fully believe the old man's words. The soul-splitting technique only had the first level, and even with Zhao Feng's God-eyes calculation abilities, it was very hard for him to complete it. However, Zhao Feng's eyes spun, and he said, Can the Divine Techniques Palace complete the soul-splitting technique? If the soul-splitting technique was really at the peak of the heaven grade like the elegant old man said, and the price was reasonable, Zhao Feng was willing to buy it. After all, he had already bought the first level of the soul-splitting technique. The contents of the soul-splitting technique are unique and lack examples, but the Divine Techniques Palace can complete it. However, the practicality and safety can't be guaranteed, and the price might be much higher than the soul-eye refining technique. The elegant old man thought for a while and said with a smile. By the time the elder finished speaking, Zhao Feng had already left with the little thieving cat. Since the soul-splitting technique wasn't safe enough and the price was even higher than the soul-eye refining technique, Zhao Feng couldn't accept it. However, Zhao Feng couldn't accept a soul technique that didn't even guarantee its safety and cost more than the soul-eye refining technique. One had to know that the soul-eye refining technique had cost almost 30% of Zhao Feng's resources. If he used another 30% to buy a soul cultivation technique that he didn't even know could be cultivated, Zhao Feng would be crazy. After leaving the Divine Techniques Palace, Zhao Feng even glanced at the little thieving cat. Meow meow. The little thieving cat revealed an innocent expression, indicating that it didn't know anything. It was just divining the good side, so it supported Zhao Feng in buying the soul-splitting technique. After leaving the Divine Techniques Palace, Zhao Feng went straight to the 10,000 Blood Palace. The 10,000 Blood Palace was even better than the Divine Techniques Palace. No one could resist the temptation of the 10,000 Blood Palace's bloodline. May I ask if you want to implant or strengthen your bloodline? An elegant female maid of blood-colored light smiled as she looked at Zhao Feng and the little thieving cat. I want to strengthen my bloodline to the level of the 10,000 ancient races. Zhao Feng had been here once before, so he was familiar with the functions here. Okay. To strengthen your bloodline, you first need to check your bloodline. The elegant female smiled and said. Zhao Feng then sat in front of a weird multi-armed machine. A sharp needle extended out of the machine and stabbed into Zhao Feng's body. Found eye bloodline. Unknown. Unable to strengthen. A sound came from the multi-armed machine. Found the ancient ice water bloodline, fire bloodline, blood bloodline, an ancient race bloodline. The ancient ice water bloodline is the weakest, so choose the fire or blood bloodline to strengthen. Can be strengthened to the lightning flame ancient dragon race, god flame race, ancient blood race, and other 10,000 ancient races bloodlines. Due to your strong bloodline foundation and the fact that you have the ancient race bloodline, the cost is only half of the original price. The elegant woman in the scarlet light revealed a strange expression as she finished the report. Half? Zhao Feng was surprised. He remembered that in the Heaven's Legacy City of the 18 Corners Pirate Sacred Land, Zhao Feng's cost to strengthen the Mystic Eye-scaled race's 10,000 ancient races bloodline was 1/10 of the original price. This meant that Zhao Feng had to pay at least 5 times the original price to strengthen his bloodline here. Zhao Feng then thought about it. Almost all of the bloodlines that the elegant female mentioned were within the top 100, and they were all far stronger than the Mystic Eye-scaled race bloodline. The Lightning Flame Ancient Dragon race and God Flame race were even in the top 50. Zhao Feng thought for a while and understood. His Perfect Blood Devil Sun bloodline was one of the top bloodlines of the 10,000 ancient races. This was why the 10,000 ancient races bloodlines that could be strengthened were ranked so high. However, the cost of such a high-ranking bloodline wasn't just a little bit higher. How much does it cost to strengthen to the Lightning Flame Ancient Dragon race bloodline? Zhao Feng hesitated for a while and asked. Before entering the Heaven's Legacy City, Zhao Feng felt that there was an ocean of resources and that he couldn't use them all. But after entering, he had to be very careful. The elegant female pointed in the air, and a screen of light appeared. There was detailed information about the Lightning Flame Ancient Dragon bloodline, and it also stated how far Zhao Feng had awakened to this bloodline. Finally, there was the price. In reality, with your foundation and unique fire elemental bloodline, you can even strengthen to the 9th-ranked ancient Golden Crow race bloodline. However, the 10,000 Blood Palace doesn't have such a bloodline. If you have such a bloodline, we can strengthen it for you for free. The elegant female looked at the little thieving cat and continued. Golden Crow race. Zhao Feng's heart shook. His perfect blood devil son bloodline could absorb the power of the ancient golden crow, but he didn't expect it to strengthen to the golden crow bloodline. However, how could Zhao Feng have the bloodline of the ancient golden crow? There seemed to be only one golden crow race left in the fan universe, and that was the immemorial Glory Sunday. That was a terrifying race that even heavenly divine realm experts didn't dare to get close to. This elegant female was joking with him, right? The lightning flame ancient dragon bloodline was the most suitable bloodline for Zhao Feng right now, but it was ranked 43rd among the 10,000 ancient races, and the cost of strengthening it was based on substandard god crystals. Zhao Feng calculated, and it seemed like it wouldn't be enough even if he spent all the resources in the misty spatial world. In the end, Zhao Feng didn't strengthen it. Firstly, Zhao Feng's 5 elemental wind lightning technique and Golden Kun's sacred lightning body required an ocean's worth of resources. Secondly, Zhao Feng needed to manage his own force, and the resources he needed far surpassed what he needed to cultivate. Thirdly, Zhao Feng now had a large beast horde. Although he didn't think about all of them, he definitely had to raise the 5 poison distinct bees, sky-shaking golden apes, and some other rare beasts. Therefore, Zhao Feng couldn't spend all his resources just for himself. Do you have any 10,000 ancient races bloodlines that are suitable for the sky-shaking golden apes? Zhao Feng asked. Zhao Feng wasn't going to strengthen his own bloodline, but he could strengthen his spiritual pets. Among them, the sky-shaking golden apes had huge potential. The female then started to inspect the sky-shaking golden apes bloodline. There are 2 ways to strengthen the sky-shaking golden apes. One is for speed, and the other is for power. Their bloodlines can be strengthened too. The elegant blood-colored woman gave Zhao Feng a simple introduction. A screen of light then appeared in front of Zhao Feng. I'll strengthen it to the tyrannical force King Kong race bloodline. Zhao Feng looked through it, and chose to strengthen the sky-shaking golden ape's strength-type bloodline. The tyrannical force King Kong race bloodline could double the sky-shaking golden ape's strength and increase their defense and body. It was ranked in the 400s of the 10,000 ancient races, and the price wasn't high. Furthermore, the sky-shaking golden apes were beasts left behind by the ancient era, so they had a certain amount of ancient era bloodlines within them. I'll need 7 days for 7 sky-shaking golden apes, the female said. Zhao Feng nodded. He left the sky-shaking golden apes in the 10,000 blood palace and prepared to leave. Zhao Feng! Shi Yulei was surprised when he stepped into the 10,000 blood palace. He didn't expect Zhao Feng to be so fast. The first thing he did after entering the Heaven's Legacy City was to find a place to strengthen and implant bloodlines. Zhao Feng, you don't need to come to the 10,000 blood palace with your perfect blood devil son bloodline, right? Shi Yulei laughed. Yao Feng's perfect blood devil son bloodline was ranked in the top 10 of the Imperial Dao bloodlines. If he wanted to strengthen it to a higher level, the price would be unimaginable. Yes, I strengthened the bloodline of my spirit pet. Zhao Feng shook his head slightly. He actually wanted to strengthen the Thunderfire ancient dragon bloodline. What? You strengthened the bloodline of your spirit pet? Shi Yulei's mouth fell open. Shi Yulei had come prepared and borrowed a lot of resources from his family. Even so, the resources weren't enough for him to strengthen his bloodline once. On the other hand, Zhao Feng was strengthening the bloodline of his spirit pet. However, it was possible that he had only strengthened some ordinary bloodlines. Thinking up to there, Shi Yulei felt better. I'm going to look around somewhere else. Zhao Feng said goodbye to Shi Yulei. After leaving the 10,000 blood palace, Zhao Feng took out a map of the Heaven's Legacy City. Let's go to the Divine Herb Tower next. Most of the pills and herbs that Zhao Feng had obtained in the Imperial Tombs weren't what he needed. Furthermore, the little thieving cat also wanted to go to the Divine Herb Tower. The Divine Herb Tower was extremely large, and it wasn't any smaller than the 10,000 blood palace. There was an abundance of medicinal herbs, and they were all stored in different environments, so they were well preserved. Apart from pills, there were also some liquids stored in half-transparent test tubes. Guest, do you want to buy herbs, medicines, or special medicines? An elegant female glowing with green light slowly walked over. I can even customize medicines? Zhao Feng was slightly surprised, but unfortunately, he didn't need anything like that. At the end, Zhao Feng traded the large amount of resources he had for wind, lightning, and fire elemental resources that he needed. With Zhao Feng's left eye and the Blood Devil Sun bloodline, it was extremely easy for him to refine herbs. Therefore, there was no need to buy more expensive medicines and pills. These resources should be enough for me to cultivate to the mystic light realm. Zhao Feng gave a faint smile. The little thieving cat was also here, and it traded for many resources it needed. The Divine Herb Tower was indeed a good place. Exchanging resources for resources didn't cost anything. This means that I still have a lot of resources left. I can consider strengthening the sky-locking bow. Chapter 977. After leaving the Divine Herb Tower, Zhao Feng and the little thieving cat headed toward the forging building. Before long, Zhao Feng found that Zhou Su had also entered the Divine Herb Tower. Zhao Feng also saw Old Ying's figure in a nearby bookstore. At this moment, everyone was searching for their own fortune. What can I do for you? The dark-skinned male looked at Zhao Feng. Look at this weapon of mine. A dark silver bow appeared in Zhao Feng's hand. There were mysterious carvings on the surface of the bow, and it gave off a silver glow that formed tadpole-like carvings. This weapon isn't damaged at all, and it has reached a peak in every aspect. It can give many special effects, but since you specialize in the soul, there aren't many special effects that can be given to it. Furthermore, normal soul-type abilities aren't very useful to you. The dark-skinned male started to inspect the sky-locking bow. Zhao Feng was slightly surprised, and he admired this automaton. While the dark-skinned male was analyzing the sky-locking bow, he was also analyzing what the user specialized in. Zhao Feng's cultivation technique had many elements. Even if he strengthened the sky-locking bow with wind, lightning, fire, and other special effects, the overall effect of the sky-locking bow wouldn't be much. Therefore, Zhao Feng did want to strengthen the sky-locking bow with some soul-type abilities. I suggest that you give this weapon a soul-tracking ability. It should be very suitable for you. The dark-skinned male inspected Zhao Feng's left eye and said, Soul-tracking? Zhao Feng paused. He couldn't think of what kind of ability it was just from looking at the words. Simply put, after strengthening this ability, you can use this bow to kill enemies that you can sense with your soul. The dark-skinned blacksmith revealed a confident smile. Directly kill people that I can sense with my soul? There's such an ability? Zhao Feng was slightly surprised. The sky-locking bow had the ability to lock onto the soul. Even if the target was very far away and merged into space, it could still pierce through them. However, the prerequisite was that Zhao Feng had to first lock onto the target with the sky-locking bow. As for the soul detection that the dark-skinned blacksmith was talking about, as long as Zhao Feng left a mark on someone with his eye bloodline, he would be able to sense it. If Zhao Feng could sense this person's location, he would be able to shoot the target with the sky-locking bow. For example, if Sacred Lord Black Demon had the mark left behind by Zhao Feng's God Eye, he would be able to hit Sacred Lord Black Demon if he pulled the sky-locking bow. Furthermore, this method of locking onto the target was even simpler, and it could even be done without anyone noticing. That's right. This bow's lock-on ability is very special, so it can be upgraded to soul tracking. The dark-skinned blacksmith nodded and explained again. It was important to emphasize that not all weapons could be equipped with this ability. The Skylock bow had its own powerful lock-on ability. Soul tracking was just an upgrade of the Skylock bow's ability to lock onto targets. Of course, this kind of ability enhancement required a very high reward. Alright, I choose to strengthen it. Zhao Feng decisively paid some remuneration and materials. Zhao Feng was very interested in the ability that the dark-skinned man mentioned. Guess you can come in 2 days to get it. The dark-skinned man placed the sky-locking bow into a large black furnace and said, I also want to craft a few arrows that are suitable for this bow. Zhao Feng thought for a moment before continuing. He didn't need the fortune in the Heaven's Legacy City anymore. If he could craft a few arrows, they would be extremely powerful. With the sky-locking bow's ability, they would become one of Zhao Feng's trump cards. Although Zhao Feng still had the God-slaying arrow. Even if Zhao Feng broke through to the mystic light realm, he might not be able to unleash the full power of the God-slaying arrow. Last time, when he killed the 9 Darkness Demonic Lord, Zhao Feng wasn't able to unleash the full power of the God-slaying arrow. The terrifying amount of energy it expended almost made Zhao Feng lose the ability to move. Most importantly, Zhao Feng only had 1 God-slaying arrow left. Guest, what kind of arrow do you need? You can make a simple request, and I can customize it perfectly. If you have the blueprints of a divine weapon or the arrow you want to craft, the price can be slightly cheaper. The dark-skinned man said passionately. Crafting or duplicating divine weapons based on the blueprints obviously saved a lot of time and effort, so the price was slightly lower. Lao Feng's expression became grim. He obviously didn't have any blueprints but arrows. Look at this. A scarlet golden arrow suddenly appeared in Zhao Feng's palm. The moment the God-slaying arrow appeared, an invisible golden divine radiance penetrated the entire space. The metal weapons in the building of smithing rumbled and trembled. However, this powerful metallic light only appeared within the forging building, and the outside world didn't sense it at all. Zhao Feng couldn't help but be stunned. It looked like this forging building wasn't simple. It could even block the power of a substandard god weapon. This is a god-slaying arrow. The dark-skinned blacksmith's eyes glowed red. He obviously knew about these famous substandard god weapons. I don't need to craft a god-slaying arrow. I just need to use it as a template to craft a few arrows with slightly lower power. Zhao Feng believed that the forging building in the Tianji city had the ability to craft substandard god weapons. However, Zhao Feng couldn't afford it. One had to know that substandard god weapons were weapons that only demigods could control, and their value was immeasurable. Furthermore, the time that Zhao Feng could stay in the Tianji city was limited, and forging a substandard god weapon would take a lot of time. Alright, please hand the god-slaying arrow to me. We need to analyze the structure and crafting method of this weapon. It might take some time. The dark-skinned blacksmith looked at Zhao Feng with a hint of solemnity. All right. Zhao Feng didn't hesitate. If this was a forging ground in the outside world, Zhao Feng definitely wouldn't agree. He wouldn't even take out the god-slaying arrow. The dark-skinned blacksmith took the god-slaying arrow and led Zhao Feng to the 10th floor, where he placed the god-slaying arrow into an extremely complicated device. 4 hours later, the dark-skinned blacksmith took out the god-slaying arrow and returned it to Zhao Feng. He pointed in the air, and a screen instantly appeared. Customer, please take a look. According to the structure and crafting method of the god-slaying arrow, there are a few types of arrows that can be made. Zhao Feng's gaze immediately scanned the screen. There were many arrows on it, ranging from normal emperor-level arrows to god-slaying arrows. There were a total of 26 types. As expected, even the god-slaying arrow can be made. Zhao Feng took a deep breath and continued to browse. These 26 types of arrows were all one-time use items. Adding on the flowchart of the god-slaying arrow that Zhao Feng provided, the price was relatively low. In the end, Zhao Feng chose 3 arrows. The amount of primal crystal stones and ores he paid far exceeded the inheritance of a late-stage mystic light realm. Alright, customer, you can take back the bow and arrows in 2 days. The dark-skinned blacksmith revealed a happy smile. After leaving the smithy, Zhao Feng returned to the metal city walls. There were more than a dozen metal buildings here, but no one had returned yet. Zhao Feng chose a metal building on the side and activated its defensive restrictions. The little thieving cat immediately entered the misty spatial world. It had obtained a lot in the Heaven's Legacy City. Let's take a look at the soul-splitting technique first. Zhao Feng still hoped to use this incomplete soul technique. Furthermore, the scholarly elder from the Divine Techniques Palace had a good evaluation of this technique. From what the scholarly elder said, the soul-splitting technique seemed to be different from normal soul techniques. Xiao Feng spent some time to read through the soul-splitting technique. This technique is interesting. Xiao Feng's attention was attracted by the introduction. The 10,000 divine thoughts technique split one's thoughts into two. However, the soul-splitting technique was an attempt to split the soul. Xiao Feng had never seen such a thought in the demigod Forgotten Garden or the ancient god's mysterious palace. In terms of thinking, it was indeed a bright idea. However, there was only the first level of the soul-splitting technique, and only a small portion of the second level was written. There was also a note at the end. Those whose souls aren't strong enough through other people's experiments will find it difficult to cultivate the first level. Xiao Feng was speechless. The meaning behind these words was that no one had ever succeeded. Xiao Feng even thought that something had happened when the writer tried to cultivate the soul-splitting technique. Looks like I can only put the soul-splitting technique aside for now. Maybe I'll be able to complete this technique when I'm strong enough in the future. Xiao Feng had high hopes for this technique. After putting down the soul-splitting technique, Xiao Feng sank his consciousness into the soul-eye refining technique. The soul-eye refining technique was the technique with the highest success rate among the eye-stealing techniques. While understanding the soul-eye refining technique, Xiao Feng also circulated the 10,000 divine thoughts technique and split off a wisp of his intent to use the power of God tribulation lightning to eliminate the intent of death in the eye of death. Half a day passed. It seems pretty simple. I can do it right now. Xiao Feng completely understood the soul-eye refining technique. This secret technique used the soul of the possessor to slowly refine the eye of death and change the essence of the eye. The closer the possessor was to the eye of death, the easier it would be to refine it. When the essence of the eye of death was 50% compatible with the possessor's soul, the possessor would be able to take over the eye of death. The Emperor of Death was a quasi-sacred lord, and the cultivation of this eye of death was the same as Xiao Feng's. I can start refining it now. Xiao Feng's consciousness entered the dimension of his left eye. The eye of death floated above the mysterious golden ball. The intent of death within had been completely expelled by Xiao Feng. Xiao Feng used the secret technique of the soul-eye refining technique to turn the soul intent into a unique soul flame and slowly refined it. A day passed by quickly. Almost all the members of the 9th Prince's team used up all their savings on the first day. Everyone was slightly regretful that they didn't break through more inheritances. Shinjizi, on the other hand, purchased an extremely profound formation from the Formation Talisman Tower and set it up outside the city walls. On the second day, Xiao Feng, who was within the metallic room, opened his eyes. I didn't expect it to go so smoothly. Xiao Feng was slightly surprised. In just 2 days, he found that the soul of the eye of death was 50% compatible with him. This meant that Xiao Feng could start the next step. Chapter 978. In just 2 days, the soul of the eye of death was already 50% compatible with Xiao Feng's soul. This speed of refinement far surpassed Xiao Feng's imagination. Whoosh! Xiao Feng's figure disappeared from the metal room and appeared in the misty spatial world. When a spatial whirlpool appeared in front of Xiao Feng, and a pitch-black eye of death in the form of a soul appeared. Unfortunately, I don't specialize in the laws of death. Xiao Feng sighed. The eye of death was, without a doubt, a god-eye inheritance with extremely strong offensive capabilities. It was a fatal counter to living beings and souls. The same soul-eye bloodline technique would be extremely powerful when used with the eye of death. However, the prerequisite was that the user's understanding of the laws of death had reached a certain level. Xiao Feng had fused with the god tribulation lightning symbols, so he had some understanding of the laws of destruction. Logically speaking, the eye of destruction or the god eye was more suitable for Xiao Feng. However, Xiao Feng wasn't satisfied if he didn't use this eye of death. I should fuse it into my right eye. Xiao Feng thought about it. His left eye had the god's spiritual eye, and he didn't know what would happen if he fused with it. Xiao Feng would rather destroy the eye of death than let anything happen to the god's eye. After all, the god's spiritual eye had changed Xiao Feng's destiny and accompanied him as he grew. Then let's begin. Val Feng's expression changed. A powerful soul intent covered the eye of death and merged it into Zhao Feng's body, then moved it to where Zhao Feng's right eye was. Refine! A surge of powerful soul power surged out of Zhao Feng's soul, and it turned into a gray-purple flame according to the soul eye refining technique. This time, he refined the eye of death and Zhao Feng's soul at the same time so that they would be similar. His goal was to fuse the eye of death into Zhao Feng's soul. Once he succeeded, he just needed to use the secret technique in the soul eye refining technique to harmonize the eye of death and Zhao Feng's soul. It wouldn't take long before the eye of death and Zhao Feng's soul completely merged. At that time, the eye of death would belong to Zhao Feng. Buzz! The eye of death was right next to Zhao Feng's right eye. A ball of grayish-purple soul flame burned in Zhao Feng's right eye. The burning of his soul made him feel as if he had fallen into a sea of hellfire. The piercing burning pain spread from his eyes to his entire body. Zhao Feng's entire body trembled. He was drenched in sweat, but he gritted his teeth and endured. Gradually, the right eye in Zhao Feng's soul began to cave in. At the same time, one could see that the color of the soul around the eye of death started to change slightly, and wisps of dark purple light started to appear. According to the soul eye refining technique, this sign would take at least 3 days to appear. However, Zhao Feng had only refined it for 4 hours, and the eye of death had already started to change. It seems very easy. Zhao Feng was overjoyed. It looked like he was fated with powerful eye bloodlines. This way, Zhao Feng would be able to reduce the pain of the burning of his soul. Zhao Feng sunk into the world of his soul and endured the pain. At the same time, he was looking forward to receiving some sort of reward. At this moment, the color of the soul around the eye of death was extremely similar to Zhao Feng's soul. Okay. Zhao Feng started to circulate his technique and guided his soul to slowly merge with the eye of death. Pun! However, Zhao Feng's left eye suddenly started to twitch. As if it had been stimulated, some of the dormant aura in the god's eye was awakened. Boom! The god's spiritual eye released a domineering ancient origin aura that looked down on the universe and the desolate world. This peerless aura circulated through Zhao Feng's soul. When this aura touched the eye of death, which was in the process of merging with it, Zhao Feng's entire soul started to tremble, and it released a desolate and ancient aura. This ancient aura filled Zhao Feng's soul and repelled all other auras. What's going on? The god's spiritual eye is repelling the eye of death? Zhao Feng's heart jumped, and sweat poured down his forehead. The god's spiritual eye had changed at this critical moment. The god's spiritual eye's actions gave Zhao Feng the feeling that it was forcefully taking over his territory. The god's spiritual eye was actually repelling foreign souls. When the eye of death that was in the process of merging with the god's spiritual eye started to tremble when it felt this desolate and ancient aura. It even instinctively tried to break free from Zhao Feng's soul. No, maybe the god's spiritual eye thinks that the eye of death is too weak. Zhao Feng carefully felt it. When the eye of death sensed the existence of Zhao Feng's left eye, it started to tremble and wanted to break free from Zhao Feng's soul. It was as if it didn't dare to exist in the same soul as the god's spiritual eye. On the other hand, the eye of death's actions proved that Zhao Feng's god's spiritual eye did indeed have the potential to become the 9th god's eye. Otherwise, why would the descendant of one of the 8 great god eyes submit to the god's spiritual eye? It should be fighting against it. Not good, something's wrong with the eye of death. Zhao Feng was thinking. He didn't notice that the soul of the eye of death started to become chaotic, and an uneasy soul aura started to radiate from it. Absorb! Zhao Feng's left eye locked onto the eye of death and put it into the dimension of his left eye. After entering the dimension of his left eye, the eye of death was instantly suppressed. At the same time, the god's spiritual eye started to calm down, and the desolate aura started to disappear from Zhao Feng's soul. Who's so close? Zhao Feng let out a long breath. In the end, 2 days of effort had been wasted, and the eye of death had almost been destroyed. One had to know that once the eye of death was destroyed, it would return to the Emperor of Death. I didn't think that something like this would happen. Zhao Feng's eyebrows furrowed. He didn't expect this to happen. This made Zhao Feng feel that what he spent in the Divine Techniques Palace was a waste. He only had the first level of the soul-splitting technique, so he wasn't even sure if he could cultivate it. On the other hand, the Eye of Death was rejected by the god's spiritual eye, so it couldn't merge into Zhao Feng's soul. This meant that the soul eye refining technique's value wasn't displayed. I can only put it aside for now. Zhao Feng couldn't think of a solution right now. On top of that, Zhao Feng didn't specialize in the laws of death, so the Eye of Death wasn't very useful to Zhao Feng. Therefore, Zhao Feng wasn't very frustrated. It was already the second day. Zhao Feng left the room of steel and walked toward the forging building. Guest, here's your stuff. The dark-skinned brawny man handed the sky-locking bow and 3 arrows to Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng took the sky-locking bow and felt that there was something different about it. Zhao Feng's soul intent could merge into the sky-locking bow more easily. To a certain degree, Zhao Feng could use more of the sky-locking bow's power. As for the other 3 arrows, 1 was bright gold, and 2 were dark gold. They each gave off a sharp aura, and the structure on them was similar to the god's slaying arrow. Guest will need to spend some time to refine this bow with your soul power. Only then will you be able to better use the soul tracking ability, the dark-skinned blacksmith said with a smile. After leaving the forging shop, Zhao Feng returned to the room of steel and started cultivating. Luckily, the sky-locking bow and the forging of the arrows were very successful. Zhao Feng felt slightly better. Afterward, Zhao Feng circulated the 10,000 divine thoughts technique and used his soul power to refine the sky-locking bow. At the same time, he prepared to break through to the Emperor realm. Zhao Feng's soul power was too much higher than his cultivation, so his progress was very slow. On the other hand, Zhao Feng's foundation was very solid. He took out some herbs with the elements of wind, lightning, and fire and started to absorb the essence of heaven and earth. 1 day later, a huge whirlpool of wind lightning formed above the room that Zhao Feng was in. When boom boom, the aura from the whirlpool became more and more violent. The water of wind lightning, wood of wind lightning, and fire of wind lightning started to change endlessly. Dense heaven earth yuan qi and some ancient auras were sucked into the whirlpool. Zhao Feng held a rare treasure in his hand. Countless pure elemental powers of wind lightning and fire were guided by Zhao Feng into the boiling dimension of his true yuan. Zhao Feng is breaking through? Shi Yulei, who was in the room next door, was shocked by Zhao Feng's aura. The members of the 9th Prince's team came out from the other rooms and sighed in their hearts. Such a profound wind lightning technique, and it seems to contain other elements as well. Jing Kai felt pressured. The quality and quantity of Zhao Feng's true yuan far surpasses normal emperors. It should be extremely easy for him to break through. Olding could feel how deep Zhao Feng's foundation was. Not good, this is the last day of the second segment. Attack the city and plunder the land. Olding suddenly realized something. Someone's coming! Su Qingling's eyes flashed, and she immediately said, Go to the city walls! Olding had an ugly expression as he roared. Zhao Feng's breakthrough didn't come at the right time. The 7th Prince's team and the teams of the other 3 princes all knew that Zhao Feng was the strongest pillar of the 9th Prince's team, and he was a beast tamer. They could obviously feel the power of Zhao Feng's breakthrough. How could they let go of such a good chance? Although Zhao Feng's beast horde was still guarding the city walls, the battle power of the beast horde was reduced by almost 40%. Without a beast tamer to control them, the battle power of the beast horde would decrease by almost 40%. Furthermore, Zhao Feng's strongest spiritual pet, the sky-shaking golden ape, was still strengthening its bloodline in the 10,000 Blood Palace and couldn't participate in the battle. What should we do with Zhao Feng? A complicated look flashed through Su Qingling's eyes. Ignore him for now. Shinjizi, focus on controlling the array. Olding had a decisive expression as he looked outside the city walls. The beast horde that covered the sky was slowly approaching. There were almost 30 peerless experts behind the beast horde. Go! Master Zhang, control your beast horde, the 5th Prince said in a hurry. Zhao Feng's breaking through right now, and it won't end in a short amount of time. We'll first finish off the other members and take over this Heaven's Legacy city, and we'll win." The 12th prince was overjoyed. "This is the last day of the second stage. Hurry up!" The second prince roared as light shot out of his eyes. The attackers were the teams of the 3 princes. The last day of a siege was usually the most intense day of the war. As long as the princes entered the metal houses and stamped their pseudo-crown prince seal, the Heaven's Legacy city would automatically close for a day. On the second day, the second stage would end, and they would win. They wouldn't have to worry about other attackers. Chapter 979. Defend with all your might! Olding immediately gave out orders with an urgent look. The other members stood within Shinjizi's defensive array and started to defend. Luckily, the beast horde outside the city still listened to Zhao Feng's orders before he left and guarded this place. When the beasts from the 3 princes' team attacked, they obviously fought back. However, without a beast tamer to control them, their battle power dropped dramatically. Without a beast tamer to control them, these beasts charged out of the array. "Olding, we can't control these beasts." Shiryule felt helpless when he saw this. Luckily, these beasts knew to stay within the defensive array after suffering a few times. "We'll defend for as long as we can." Old Ying's eyes were grim, and his tone was decisive. "From the looks of it, Zhao Feng really is breaking through." The second prince rubbed his chin not far away from the city wall. The signs of breaking through could be faked. This was also a trick to lure the enemy out. "You guys go as well." After confirming that Zhao Feng was really breaking through in seclusion, the second prince immediately gave out the order. "Everyone attack!" The 12th prince had an excited expression. Whoosh! Whoosh! Close to 30 experts from the 3 princes' team flew into the air and attacked the 9th prince's metal city wall. "Brother Second, don't forget about the blood contract we signed." The 5th prince had a grim expression. Only one prince could stay in the Heaven's Legacy city. There was only one day left in the second stage, and it was impossible for the 3 princes to take turns entering the Heaven's Legacy city. Therefore, the 3 princes signed a blood contract. The blood contract was created by the Heaven's Legacy race, and there were very few of them in the world. Normally, this scroll would only be used under special circumstances. The content of the contract was that the second prince had to help the other princes and their members complete the transactions they wanted in the Heaven's Legacy city, and he wasn't allowed to take any resources for himself. Of course. The second prince had a calm expression. This was their last chance. All they had to do was enter the Heaven's Legacy city. Also, guard against Brother Seventh. Once his group attacks, use your draconic providence to stall them. The second prince's expression remained unchanged as he transmitted his voice to the other 2 princes. 100 miles away from Tianji City, the 7th prince's team gathered in a small forest. "We don't have the ability to attack the city by ourselves. We can only wait for the 3 princes and the 9th prince to be severely injured before we make our move," the scholar slowly analyzed. Sacred Lord Dark Soul's soul and sacred body had both been heavily injured by Zhao Feng. The injuries on the divine body could be easily healed, but the injuries caused by the power of the Thunder Tribulation couldn't be healed. Grandmaster Zhang Yi's demonic beasts also suffered heavy losses. If Zhao Feng doesn't come out of seclusion, the 3 princes should be able to easily breach the city walls. What should we do then? Jiang Hao voiced his doubts. Although the members of the joint team of the 3 princes were weaker, there were too many of them. If the 7th prince were to compete with the 3 princes, the 3 princes would have a higher chance of winning. The other members of the group also looked at the scholar. They had the same doubts. "If it were you guys, would you choose to break through at this time?" the scholar said with a deep gaze. Everyone fell silent. As long as one wasn't an idiot, they wouldn't go into seclusion to break through at this time. "It shouldn't take long for Zhao Feng to make a breakthrough," Sacred Lord Sharpedge said. With Zhao Feng's powerful strength, one could see his foundation. Sacred Lord Sharpedge even suspected that Zhao Feng was purposely suppressing his cultivation. In this situation, it wouldn't take long if he was experienced. Then we still have hope, Lu Tianqi immediately said. Only when the ninth prince and the three princes fought at full power would they be able to injure each other. On the other side, the ninth prince had taken over a Heaven's Legacy city. The pressure on the eighth prince immediately decreased. He's finally breaking through to the martial monarch realm. As Yu Tianhao thought of this, the bloodline in his body trembled slightly. Although he knew that Zhao Feng's strength was unfathomable at the challenger realm. However, Yu Tianhao hoped to compete with Zhao Feng in the same realm. I think that Zhao Feng purposely chose this time to break through. He probably wants to see what he obtained in the Heaven's Legacy city. Sacred Lord Hundred Refined gave a faint smile. He didn't believe that Zhao Feng would be so stupid as to choose this time to break through. Within the metallic building under the whirlpool of wind lightning, although Zhao Feng was in the middle of his breakthrough, he still split off a part of his mind to observe the battle outside the city walls. The rest of his mind was still refining the sky-locking bow. The refinement is complete! Zhao Feng's heart moved slightly. At this moment, the sky-locking bow and Zhao Feng's soul intent formed a secret connection. At the same time, the whirlpool of wind lightning above Zhao Feng's building quickly disappeared. Zhao Feng's foundation was extremely strong, and with the addition of all kinds of rare herbs, it was extremely easy for him to break through to the martial monarch realm. With the three-colored wind lightning True Yuan in Zhao Feng's True Yuan dimension became even purer. The three-colored True Yuan quickly transformed in the True Yuan dimension and formed a whirlpool. It didn't take long for Zhao Feng to stabilize his aura. After breaking through to the martial monarch realm, Zhao Feng's strength didn't increase significantly. However, the quality and quantity of his True Yuan had increased. The quality of Zhao Feng's True Yuan was originally comparable to a quasi-sacred lord. Now that the True Yuan formed in Zhao Feng's True Yuan dimension surpassed quasi-sacred lords, it wouldn't be an exaggeration to call it the strongest True Yuan. This was because True Yuan above the sacred lord level would turn into mystic light's sacred power. Meow meow! At this moment, the little thieving cat appeared in front of Zhao Feng and handed the misty spatial world to Zhao Feng. Whoosh! After putting on the misty spatial world, Zhao Feng turned into a streak of light and charged out. On the metallic city walls, countless beasts, almost 30 peerless emperors, and quasi-sacred lords charged over. The defensive array that Shinjizi controlled couldn't take it anymore and shattered with a crack. Amongst the ninth prince's subordinates, Su Qingling was already injured and was being healed by Zhou Su'er. Shi Yulei held the giant dark yellow shield and blocked in front of him, but it wasn't very useful. There were too many people on the other side, and they were all attacking together. A large number of Zhao Feng's beasts were also injured or killed by the three beast tamers. The ninth prince raised the dim pseudo-crown prince seal and was about to release his draconic providence. I'm late. Zhao Feng's voice sounded in everyone's souls. The ninth prince instantly put away the pseudo-crown prince seal, and everyone let out a breath. They had been waiting for Zhao Feng to come out of seclusion. Zhao Feng, quick, control the beast horde! Olding had a joyful expression as he quickly said. Zhao Feng breaking through to the martial monarch realm so quickly surpassed his expectations, but he didn't care that much right now. However, he couldn't care so much right now. As long as Zhao Feng regained control of the beast horde, with his powerful strength, it was still possible to defend the Heaven's Legacy city. Zhao Feng, it's useless even if you break through now. We're all here! Shui Yuan roared with laughter. Almost all the members of the three princes had reached the city walls, and the ninth prince's team had expended a lot of energy. Some of them were even injured. Could Zhao Feng fight against almost 30 emperors and quasi-sacred lords by himself? Humph, then I'll let you down. Zhao Feng harumphed coldly with a cold expression. Hu Zhao Feng waved his left hand, and the cloud silkworm Saint Butterfly appeared. The terrifying 10,000 ancient races bloodline made the hearts of all the emperors shake. Their bloodlines were suppressed, and they found it hard to breathe. Before anyone could react, the cloud silkworm Saint Butterfly opened its mouth and spat out 5-colored silk that instantly covered everything within a few hundred yards. Funny, how can the cloud silkworm Saint Butterfly's silk trap so many of us? An emperor couldn't help but laugh at Zhao Feng's stupid actions. Almost 30 members charged toward Zhao Feng and the other members of the 9th Prince's team, but the cloud silkworm Saint Silk's ability to capture people was too scattered. It couldn't even trap one person. Some of the experts that were caught by the cloud silkworm Saint Silk released their true yuan and pushed it away. However, the cloud silkworm Saint Butterfly then flapped its transparent wings, and a wave of half-transparent pollen formed a beautiful whirlwind that instantly swept across everything within a few hundred yards. Zhao Feng originally just wanted to use the cloud silkworm Saint Silk to attract the enemy's attention. That way, the dream pollen would be useful. After all, everyone knew that Zhao Feng had the cloud silkworm Saint Butterfly, and the enemy would definitely be on their guard. Zhao Feng had already messaged the other members of the 9th Prince's team before this, and they were able to escape the range of the dream pollen. Not good, retreat! It's the dream pollen! The dream pollen could pass through the physical dimension and was even effective against sacred lords. It was much stronger than the cloud silkworm Saint Silk. Facing the dream pollen, the 30 or so members panicked and could only dodge. Luckily, not many of them had lost the ability to fight because of the dream pollen. Zhao Feng used this chance to circulate the 10,000 divine thoughts technique and merge almost 1,000 thoughts into the group of beasts. Zhao Feng's beast horde instantly started to turn the tide. Under Zhao Feng's precise control, he was able to quickly push back the beasts, and he was even able to split off a portion of them to block the emperors on the city walls. The pressure on the other members of the 9th Prince's team decreased. Every time Zhao Feng attacked, he was preparing for the next attack. In just a few breaths, he was able to control the situation and turn the tide. All of you want to come out and cause some damage as well, right? Zhao Feng murmured as he waved his left hand again. Boom! 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 3 giant golden figures descended on the city walls like metal mountains. The terrifying aura of beasts caused the hearts of some of the members that were slightly closer to shake, and they immediately retreated. Boom! Following this, the golden fur of the 3 sky-shattering golden apes stood on end like steel needles, emitting a brilliant glow. A primordial aura of ancient beasts burst out from their bodies. Some of the nearby emperors were caught off guard and spat out a mouthful of blood from this terrifying bloodline aura. Some of the emperors further away started to panic, and the bloodlines within their bodies started to tremble uneasily. Beasts from ancient times that have the bloodline of the 10,000 ancient races. How is this possible? Zhao Feng strengthened his spiritual pets with such a precious bloodline. The hearts of the emperors and quasi-sacred lords attacking the city shook. One had to know that this place was an ancient dimension, and the beasts here all contained a certain amount of ancient bloodlines. Once they had an ancient bloodline, their power would be close to the original bloodlines of the 10,000 ancient races. Zhao Feng was extremely satisfied as he looked at the 3 sky-shaking golden apes. When Zhao Feng broke through, he told the little thieving cat to take the misty spatial world to the 10,000 blood palace to take back the strengthened sky-shaking golden apes. Time was limited, so only 3 sky-shaking golden apes were strengthened. Chapter 980. The other members of the 9th Prince's team were also stunned. They all felt that they didn't have enough resources after entering the Heaven's Legacy City, and many things were out of their reach. However, Zhao Feng had strengthened such a precious bloodline for his spiritual pet. Zhao Feng strengthened the ancient bloodline of the sky-shaking golden apes. Shi Yulei had a dazed expression. He had met Zhao Feng when he entered the 10,000 Blood Palace. At that time, he thought that Zhao Feng was only strengthening the bloodline of his spiritual pet. Now that he sensed the changes in the sky-shaking golden apes, he realized that this was the bloodline of the Herculean Force race, which was ranked 421st among the 10,000 ancient races. The enemy members even wanted to capture these 3 sky-shaking golden apes alive. The three beast tamers behind them looked at the sky-shaking golden apes with fiery gazes. Go! Zhao Feng split off 3 wisps of intent and merged them into the bodies of the sky-shaking golden apes. The sky-shaking golden apes were huge and specialized in defense. They were more suited for group battles. Roar! Roar! The 3 sky-shaking golden apes instantly roared and waved their scarlet golden fists. Limitless power formed a storm that swept through everything. Many emperors and quasi-sacred lords that wanted to charge forward could only retreat. Boom! Zhao Feng circulated his sacred lightning body, and the scarlet wings of lightning behind him flapped as he charged into the battlefield. The members of the 9th Prince's team that could still fight followed Zhao Feng and entered the battlefield once more. Scarlet Lightning Storm! Zhao Feng charged into the center of the battlefield, and the scarlet wings of lightning behind his back fluttered. Limitless wind lightning True Yuan surged out and formed a scarlet lightning storm. A ball of blood-colored light shot out from the center of the scarlet lightning storm like a violent blood-colored sun. The Blood Devil Sun bloodline and the fire of wind lightning were 2 extremely explosive powers that had similar elements. When they merged together, the power of scarlet lightning and blood-colored fire merged into the storm. Boom! 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 The scarlet storm was instantly dyed with a layer of blood-colored sun, and its power increased by several times. It covered all the enemies within it. The quality and quantity of Zhao Feng's quintessential essence could not be compared to before. This sort of large-scale attack wasn't very profound, but it fully displayed the might of Zhao Feng's strongest true essence. What a terrifying Xingyuan! The explosive power is so strong! This storm has the characteristics of the Blood Devil Sun bloodline. This is definitely not the true Yuan that a new great emperor should have. The enemy emperors and quasi-sacred lords circulated their true Yuan and resisted the power within the scarlet lightning storm. One had to know that a large area of effect attack was bound to waste a lot of true essence. At this moment, Zhao Feng's move enveloped all of them at the same time. Quick, let's work together to finish off Zhao Feng first. He is a beast tamer. If we get rid of him, the fighting strength of these 3 sky-shaking golden apes will drop. He actually took the initiative to attack. Everyone, let's attack together. Shui Yuan, the goateed elder, and the others were very familiar with Zhao Feng's strength. However, at this moment, more than half of the 30 or so members were emperors and quasi-sacred lords, and they charged at Zhao Feng. Of course, most of them were emperors, and there were very few quasi-sacred lords among the lower-ranked princes. Not good, they're going to surround and attack Zhao Feng. Shi Yule's expression changed slightly. He felt that Zhao Feng's actions were too rash. Go and help Zhao Feng! Su Qingling waved her hand, and a soul talisman seal appeared. This soul talisman seal then turned into several arrows that shot toward the chaotic enemies. Zhou Su'er had an anxious expression, but there was nothing she could do. She could only stay at the back and heal the injured beasts. They didn't understand why Zhao Feng would charge into the center of the battlefield. As long as he could control the beasts and focus on defense, he would be able to turn the tide. Although Zhao Feng's strength could fight against sacred lords, there were too many enemies. However, there were too many enemies, and they were all peerless elites among emperors and quasi-sacred lords. Even sacred lords could only retreat. This is just Zhao Feng's plan. Jing Kai, who was enslaved by Zhao Feng, didn't move at all. He looked at Zhao Feng with respect. A faint smile appeared on Zhao Feng's face. A primordial, primitive, thunderstorm power spread out from his back and merged into the void. Everything within a radius of 100 yards instantly became a dark dimension, and Zhao Feng was able to control the laws of this ancient dimension. It was difficult for Zhao Feng's little world to trap so many people at the same time, so he tried his best to shrink the size of his little world and increase its power. Therefore, he had to be the bait as well. The dozen or so emperors and quasi-sacred lords that were charging toward Zhao Feng instantly fell into Zhao Feng's little world of wind lightning. The invisible laws within the dimension strengthened once more, and the terrifying pressure of wind lightning descended. The dozen or so enemies instantly fell into the power of Little World, and the closer they were to Zhao Feng, the more pressure they felt. This is a little world? Didn't he just become an emperor? How is this possible? His small world can actually completely fuse with this primordial space left behind. Zhao Feng can control a few wisps of the laws of this ancient dimension? The hearts of the enemy experts that were trapped by Zhao Feng's little world couldn't be any more stunned. At this moment, they felt as if they had fallen into a swamp, and they were being suppressed even more by the ancient dimension. The ancient dimension already greatly suppressed the strength of outsiders. Now that Zhao Feng had control over a few wisps of the laws of the ancient dimension, the suppression became even stronger. Many quasi-sacred lords unleashed their little worlds and prepared to break through the power of Zhao Feng's little world. However, they could only use their little worlds to protect themselves. They couldn't merge into the dimension, and they couldn't affect Zhao Feng's little world. At the same time, countless storms of lightning descended from the little world of Wind Lightning, and they had to use a portion of their energy to block them. Quick, let's break through Zhao Feng's little world. The elder with the goatee immediately roared. Zhao Feng's little world was extremely powerful in the ancient dimension. More than a dozen emperors and quasi-sacred lords instantly prepared to unleash all kinds of attacks. However, Zhao Feng suddenly unleashed several scarlet lightning fists. The power of Zhao Feng's attacks multiplied in his little world. However, the scarlet lightning fists that Zhao Feng unleashed were mainly illusions, and they contained Zhao Feng's soul Dao domain as they charged toward the enemies trapped within the little world. At the same time, the cloud silkworm Saint Butterfly flapped its wings once more, and a half-transparent multicolored pollen formed a whirlwind that instantly swept across a radius of several hundred yards. The dream pollen and Zhao Feng's illusion Dao domain were used on the enemies at the same time, and the power of the little world suppressed them. The goatee, Shui Yuan, and company instantly felt like they were in an illusory world of wind and lightning. Their minds were exhausted, and they couldn't do anything. Because of this, their attacks were spread out and didn't focus on a single point. They weren't able to do any actual damage to Zhao Feng's little world. Hand over your dragon jades or else I won't be polite anymore. Zhao Feng released his soul intent, and the sound of explosions resounded throughout the little world of wind lightning. Everyone felt as if their bodies and souls were instantly bombarded by lightning. Their bodies became numb, and their souls felt a numbing pain. What powerful soul intent! We can't get out. How is this possible? Shui Yuan, the elder with the goatee, and company had expressions of fear and panic. More than a dozen emperors and quasi-sacred lords were completely trapped by the power of Zhao Feng's little world, soul Dao illusions, dream pollen, and soul intent. The enemies fighting against the sky-shaking golden apes and the ninth prince's team at the edge of Zhao Feng's little world were stunned. Zhao Feng had managed to single-handedly suppress half of their combined team. Even a sacred lord wouldn't be able to do this. Didn't Zhao Feng just become an emperor? He formed a little world? Shi Yulei was dazed as he looked at Zhao Feng, who was like the ruler of heaven and earth within the little world of wind lightning. Furthermore, the little world that Zhao Feng displayed right now wasn't simple. He managed to suppress more than a dozen emperors and quasi-sacred lords. Su Qingling had an expression of disbelief as she stood at the back. On top of that, Zhao Feng still had the energy to extort money from his enemies. Great! Olding couldn't help but exclaim. Ever since Zhao Feng broke through, Olding had been wondering if Zhao Feng had his own plan. From the looks of it now, Zhao Feng probably wanted to obtain some draconic providence for the ninth prince before the second stage ended. Within the little world of wind lightning, the emperors and quasi-sacred lords, whose battle power was being suppressed, had enraged expressions. They didn't purposely gather draconic providence. Now that the second stage of the Crown Prince trial was about to end, the dragon jades were almost useless to them. Even if they could enter the Heaven's Legacy City, the princes behind them didn't have any intention of fighting for the position of Crown Prince. However, there were so many of them, and they were being extorted by Zhao Feng alone. Countless experts and forces in the outside world were watching. If they all submitted to Zhao Feng and handed over their dragon jades, How would they be able to survive in the Great Gone Lord dynasty in the future? Xiao Feng, we won't hand over our dragon jades. If you have the ability, then kill us all. The experts that were trapped by Xiao Feng refused to hand over their dragon jades. All of them came from different factions, and Xiao Feng didn't dare to offend the powerful factions of 10 some lord dynasties at the same time. Where's my dragon jade? My dragon jade is gone as well. The dragon jade in my interspatial dimension is gone as well. Some precious resources are gone as well. At that instant, the experts in the Wind Thunder Small World cried out in astonishment. Meow meow! A silver light flashed next to Xiao Feng, and the little thieving cat handed a bunch of dragon jades to Xiao Feng. Xiao Feng was slightly speechless. He only told the little thieving cat to steal as many dragon jades as possible, but he didn't expect the little thieving cat to take away some precious treasures when it entered their interspatial dimension. Meow meow! The little thieving cat gestured at Xiao Feng, as if saying that these were its spoils of war. Xiao Feng smiled helplessly. In reality, when he released the illusion Dao domain and released the dream pollen, Xiao Feng had already told the little thieving cat to take action. At that moment, the enemy's senses would be at their weakest. In order to let the little thieving cat succeed, Xiao Feng released his soul intent and attacked everyone's souls. It looked like that was completely unnecessary. At this moment, the 3 princes watching from the back had grim expressions. Just like that, the favorable situation was instantly reversed. Let's go as well! The second prince's deep voice sounded. If the 3 of them didn't make a move, they would definitely lose this war. Okay, we'll stop the members of the 9th prince's team. Brother Second, quickly enter the city walls and stamp your pseudo-crown prince seal. The 5th prince instantly took out his bright pseudo-crown prince seal. Who the 3 princes finally couldn't hold back anymore. They held their pseudo-crown prince seals in their hands and flew toward the city walls. Chapter 981. Not good, the 3 princes are here. Shi Yulei looked into the distance with a solemn expression. Xiao Feng! Olden quickly called out. The strongest person in the 9th prince's team was Xiao Feng. At this moment, Xiao Feng was able to suppress more than a dozen emperors and quasi-sacred lords by himself. Xiao Feng should have the strength to finish them off. This meant that the 9th prince's team would have the ability to fight against the 3 princes. The 9th prince's team would have the ability to fight against them. When the 9th prince took a step forward, and the pseudo-crown prince seal in his hand flashed. The 3 princes were all in the emperor realm. Only the 2nd prince's strength was close to the 9th prince's. However, if the princes used draconic providence, it would be a completely different story. The 3 princes would be able to increase their battle power to the quasi-sacred lord level, or even higher. Luckily, the 3 princes didn't collect a lot of draconic providence. Within Zhao Feng's little world of wind lightning, Xiao Feng, you're so despicable. You actually use such a method to steal. Xiao Feng, it's useless even if you trap us. You're definitely going to lose. The 3 princes can use their draconic providence to increase their battle power to the level of a sacred lord for a short amount of time. The dozen or so people trapped by Xiao Feng were overjoyed when they saw the 3 princes enter the battlefield. They had even lost their dragon jades when they were trapped by Xiao Feng. They had to take revenge for this. Since you guys still don't want to leave after getting your dragon jades, then I won't be polite anymore. Xiao Feng suddenly laughed coldly. A bright red glass-like flame surrounded Xiao Feng's body. Xiao Feng's entire body seemed to be bathed in flames. His entire body was bright red, and with the addition of his sacred lightning body, he seemed like a flaming demonic sovereign. This is Blood Devil's Son bloodline. The news was indeed correct. Xiao Feng has the Blood Devil's Son bloodline of the Tai family. Let's go together and restrain Xiao Feng until the 3 princes arrive. The experts trapped in Xiao Feng's small world were shocked. However, taking over Tianji City was the most important thing right now. The effects of the soul path illusion technique and the dream pollen had already been dispelled by them. The reason why they decided to stay in Zhao Feng's small world was because they saw the three princes participating in the battle. Instantly, all the cultivators prepared to team up. As long as they could restrain Zhao Feng, the three princes would be able to crush them and take over the Tianji city. Rumble! Under the powerful explosion of the Blood Devil Sun bloodline, Zhao Feng's figure disappeared without a trace after an explosion. Be careful! One of the quasi-sacred lords could sense where Zhao Feng was and immediately called out. In the next moment, in the thunderous explosion of the Thunder Flame, a Void God Realm Emperor was crushed by Zhao Feng with one punch. Hiss! The enemy members were dead silent as they watched Zhao Feng kill a Peak Emperor so casually. Everyone expected that Zhao Feng's strength had reached the level of a Sacred Lord. However, even some Sacred Lords that didn't specialize in speed wouldn't be able to match his terrifying speed. Quickly stop and trap him. Shui Yuan's body shook as he roared. The others recovered from their shock and circulated their true yuan to surround Zhao Feng. They couldn't let Zhao Feng use his speed to slowly reduce the number of people on their side. Rumble! With another explosion, Zhao Feng turned into a bolt of lightning and left a trail of blood-colored flames behind as he charged toward the side with fewer people. Boom! An emperor circulated his true yuan to protect his body when he saw Zhao Feng's attack, but his body was still shattered by Zhao Feng's sacred lightning body and exploded. In the little world of wind lightning, Zhao Feng's wind lightning true yuan was strengthened, and his speed and power were unleashed to the maximum. If these dozen or so people had broken through Zhao Feng's little world first, they might have been able to stall for a while with Zhao Feng. However, at this moment, the battle was under Zhao Feng's control. They didn't even have the chance to break through Zhao Feng's little world. Arg! Another emperor was easily crushed by Zhao Feng even though he was defending with all his might. Both friend and foe's hearts shook. Good. As long as Zhao Feng can finish off these dozen or so people, we still have hope. Old Ying's eyes were deep, and his voice was calm. On the other side, the enemies fighting against the sky-shaking golden apes and the Ninth Prince's team started to tremble. Killing emperors so easily was as easy as killing chickens. They could only place their hopes on the three princes. Zhao Feng, stop. The three princes were about to arrive, and when they saw this scene, they immediately shouted. These idiots! The fifth prince cursed. The group that had fallen into Zhao Feng's little world thought that Zhao Feng wouldn't be able to do anything to them, but now they were being slaughtered by Zhao Feng. If they had tried to destroy Zhao Feng's little world from the start, everything would have been fine. Let's attack and destroy Zhao Feng's little world first. The second prince had an ugly expression as he spoke. They couldn't let Zhao Feng lose more members. The three princes nodded their heads and raised the swords in their hands. They circulated their true yuan, and a layer of draconic light appeared. Not good, the three princes are trying to destroy Zhao Feng's little world. Old Ying's expression changed slightly, but he was also fighting a quasi-sacred lord and couldn't do anything else. It'll be bad if Zhao Feng's little world is destroyed. Shi Yulei had a heavy heart. At this moment, he was blocking the attacks for the other members of his team. There were too few members on the Ninth Prince's side that could fight. If it weren't for the fact that the three sky-shaking golden apes were stalling some of the enemies, they would have lost already. Humph! Zhao Feng looked at the three princes and waved his left hand. 8 colorful poisonous wasps were only the size of a fist, but they carried a terrifying aura as they flew towards the three princes who were preparing to attack. Not good, it's the 5 poison distinct bees. Retreat! The second prince immediately exclaimed. The three princes immediately gave up on attacking and quickly retreated. Everyone knew a little about the origins of the 5 poison distinct bees. Boom! 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 The 8 Peak-tier King 5 poison distinct bees self-destructed as the three princes retreated. Although it was only at the edge of the explosion and didn't affect the three princes, the suicidal attack of the bee kings could even threaten emperors. Now that the 8 queen bees had exploded, the impact on the three princes would definitely not be small. The expressions of the three princes were ugly. They had lost a lot of draconic providence to the self-destruction of the 5 poison distinct bees. Good, Zhao Feng! Olding exclaimed. Zhao Feng used the 5 poison distinct bees to force the 3 princes to retreat a certain distance. This way, Zhao Feng had time to finish off the enemies in his little world. What's going on? Second prince, save us. The 3 princes have been forced back by Zhao Feng. The experts in Zhao Feng's little world revealed expressions of despair when they saw this. Zhao Feng had been hiding something like this. Damn it, Zhao Feng could have used the 5 poison distinct bees to finish us off from the start. One of the emperors immediately exclaimed. Maybe he didn't think it was necessary. A quasi-sacred lord's heart went cold. Hearing that, the hearts of the other members shook, and their bodies started to tremble. Indeed, Zhao Feng didn't even need to use the 5 poison distinct bees to force them into a corner and slowly slaughter them. Boom! While everyone was dazed, 2 emperors were engulfed by Zhao Feng's scarlet lightning flaming fist. Run! I don't want to die. Zhao Feng, don't kill me. Shui Yuan tried to beg Zhao Feng as he retreated. 5 emperors had already been killed by Zhao Feng. Even if they worked together to destroy Zhao Feng's little world, they wouldn't be a match for Zhao Feng. Everyone lost all will to fight, and they started to run in the direction of the 3 princes. They could only hope that the 3 princes would arrive soon and save them. When Zhao Feng flapped his scarlet wings of lightning and left behind a streak of light as he appeared behind everyone and blocked their path. Zhao Feng, let us go! We won't attack this place again. You've already taken my dragon jade. Let us go! Everyone was in despair. It was impossible for them to escape from Zhao Feng's little world. On the other hand, Zhao Feng's speed was the fastest in his little world. Together with his outstanding physique, the crowd stood no chance against him. Princes, hand over the pseudo-crown prince seal. Otherwise, I'll start a massacre. Zhao Feng looked down from above like he was the king of this world of lightning and storm. The hearts of the 3 princes sank upon hearing this. If Zhao Feng were to kill all the experts, it would place the blame on Zhao Feng. If Zhao Feng were to kill them all, he would offend more than 10 factions in the dynasty. However, the situation was different after hearing what Zhao Feng had said. If the 3 princes rejected him, Zhao Feng would kill them all, which would be their fault. They were willing to sacrifice the lives of their members for the sake of the dragon providence. Humph, Zhao Feng, don't you dare kill my people! The second prince's expression did not change. With a loud shout, he charged forward again. The expressions of the other 2 princes changed slightly. They didn't know what to do. Brother second prince still has a solution. The 5th prince revealed a faint smile. The second prince used this method to reject Zhao Feng. If Zhao Feng still killed all the members in the end, it wouldn't be because the princes didn't save them, but because they couldn't save them in time. The 5th prince and the 13th prince also yelled and charged at Zhao Feng with the second prince. True Yuan surged from the swords in their hands as they prepared to destroy Zhao Feng's little world again. Hee hee! With a wave of Zhao Feng's left hand, the 8 colorful wasps appeared once more. The 8 5 poison distinct bees charged at the 3 princes. One of the 5 poison distinct bees was slightly bigger and brighter. It was a bee monarch. Boom! 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 The 3 princes were scared off once again. This time, the power of the 5 poison distinct bees' self-destruction was even stronger. The 12th prince was accidentally hit by the poisonous gas, and his expression turned ugly. He still has the 5 poison distinct bees! The second prince's expression was green. He was extremely angry, but there was nothing he could do. Countless experts on the battlefield looked at Zhao Feng, and their hearts trembled. The experts fighting with Olding and the sky-shaking golden apes also started to become fearful and lose their will to fight. The one-sided situation instantly tilted because of Zhao Feng's participation. The beast horde started to gain the advantage under Zhao Feng's control. 3 sky-shaking golden apes with the bloodline of the 10,000 ancient races helped the 9th prince's team stall the other experts. On the other hand, Zhao Feng was able to stall more than a dozen enemies by himself and stop the three princes. If this continued, the three princes would definitely lose. The other three Heaven's Legacy cities were also stunned as they watched the battle. The seventh prince's team, which was about to attack at any moment, still hadn't moved. Chapter 982. The expressions of the three princes were grim. They didn't expect the battle to turn out like this. They didn't know whether to advance or retreat. They couldn't attack, and if they retreated, the members trapped by Zhao Feng would all die. On top of that, the seventh prince didn't make a move. Even if the three princes paid a heavy price to defeat the ninth prince's team, they wouldn't be able to stop the seventh prince's team. In the end, they would still end up helping someone else. If the three of you aren't willing to hand over the pseudo-crown prince seal, there's another way to save your members. Zhao Feng's cold voice sounded once more. On the battlefield, both sides naturally knew what this method was. Okay, I admit defeat. The second prince stared at Zhao Feng with cold eyes. He raised his pseudo-crown prince seal and sent a surge of intent into it. No matter how the situation developed, they were going to lose. The second prince didn't want to help the seventh prince, and he didn't want to give his draconic province to Zhao Feng either. Furthermore, he had no intention of fighting for the position of crown prince. If all of his members were to die here, there would be a change in the power that was supporting him from behind. Brother second prince, don't be rash. The fifth prince's expression changed. He knew what Zhao Feng was talking about, but he couldn't admit defeat in front of so many people. He knew that the second prince was a calm person who wouldn't take risks. However, what would he and the 12th prince do if the second prince left? The 5th prince immediately tried to persuade the second prince. The second prince didn't bother with the 5th prince and asked for help through his pseudo-crown prince seal. When a profound array instantly spread from the pseudo-crown prince seal. At the same time, the dragon jade that was connected to the second prince's pseudo-crown prince seal also started to flash with light. The same array slowly flashed. The second prince and his members left the battlefield. Brother fifth prince, what do we do? The 12th prince didn't know what to do after seeing the second prince leave. The three princes weren't a match for the 9th prince's team even when they teamed up. What should they do now that the second prince had left? The 5th prince's expression was like dead water. He was unwilling, but he couldn't think of anything right now. Just as the two princes were struggling, in the small world of Wind Thunder. Since your prince isn't willing to save you, I won't hold back then. Zhao Feng's voice echoed in the small world. The few people left in the small world immediately revealed expressions of terror, and their bodies went limp on the ground. Don't kill me! 5th prince, save me! I'm willing to hand over all my resources. Don't kill me! If you kill me, the Seacoming Palace examination won't let you off. Boom! Zhao Feng's little world of wind lightning abruptly shrank, and an even stronger spatial pressure enveloped them. In the small world, countless wind and lightning energies descended continuously. Boom! The crimson thunder flame wings on Zhao Feng's back fluttered as he shuttled back and forth, reaping the lives of the remaining people. After settling everything, Zhao Feng's little world of wind and lightning disappeared. Zhao Feng stood on the city wall and smiled as he looked into the distance. In the forest 100 miles away, the 7th prince's team was shocked. They were just about to take action and invite the second prince and the 12th prince. However, Zhao Feng had instantly finished off several emperors and quasi-sacred lords. He actually killed them all. Jiang Hao's heart shook. This Zhao Feng seems to have planned for us from the very beginning. The scholar's expression changed as if he had thought of something. How is this possible? The 7th prince didn't believe it. Zhao Feng's actions just now had shocked them. However, the scholar said that Zhao Feng had planned for them from the very beginning. He didn't dare to believe it. I understand now. The reason why Zhao Feng broke through at this time is to prevent us from teaming up with the three princes. The jade-faced Confucian suddenly understood. The three princes couldn't help but take action when Zhao Feng revealed his weakness in seclusion. The seventh prince wanted to take advantage of them, so he didn't do anything and waited for the right time. How is this possible? Jian Hao was dazed after hearing the scholar's words. However, the scholar was right. On the last day, if they had no other choice, they might have teamed up with the three princes. At this moment, the three princes had lost, and their battle power was severely injured. The second prince immediately admitted defeat. There were only two princes left, even if the seventh prince joined forces with them. Even if the seventh prince teamed up with them, the ninth prince's team would still be able to fight back. We lost without even fighting. The Confucian scholar sighed. On the city walls, the enemies that were still in a stalemate with the sky-shaking golden ape, the ninth prince, and company felt their hearts shake when they saw Zhao Feng kill several emperors and quasi-sacred lords. Let's go! The fifth prince roared. He had also given up on attacking the city, but he wouldn't admit defeat. They just needed to wait until tonight. After the second stage ended, they would be teleported out. Retreat! The 12th prince also exclaimed. Immediately, the enemy members on the steel city wall cast their own secret escape techniques and quickly left. The beast hordes below also retreated under the control of the beast tamers. Want to leave? Yule was in a good mood and prepared to give the enemies a good beating. There's no need to chase. Zhao Feng stopped Yule. At the same time, his left eye flashed with a faint ripple of soul energy that flashed through the air. The mark of the god eye had been completed. Ha ha, we've won! Yule knew the logic of not chasing a desperate enemy. The members of the ninth prince's team instantly let out a breath. They felt that this battle wasn't as difficult as they had imagined. Zhao Feng, you purposely chose this moment to break through, right? Olding thought about it, and seemed to understand why Zhao Feng revealed an opening when he broke through. Once the seventh prince and the three princes teamed up, even Zhao Feng wouldn't be able to do anything. Therefore, Zhao Feng purposely revealed an opening and made the ninth prince's team appear weak. Facing an opponent that was full of openings, both sides had their own goals, so they obviously wouldn't team up. Everyone seemed to understand something after hearing what Olding said. Not only did they defeat the three princes in this battle, they also forced the seventh prince's team into despair. It was killing two birds with one stone. Even if the remaining two princes teamed up with the seventh prince, they still wouldn't be able to take down the ninth prince's Heaven's Legacy city. Right now, the ninth prince's team had already taken over this Heaven's Legacy city. Hee, it's not over yet. Zhao Feng revealed a playful smile. A dark silver bow appeared in Zhao Feng's hand. The surface of the bow was engraved with mysterious inscriptions, and it glowed with a silver luster, forming three-dimensional tadpole-like patterns. The other members of the ninth prince's team looked at Zhao Feng with puzzled expressions. The fifth prince and the 12th prince had already escaped very far away. What was Zhao Feng doing? Zhao Feng closed his eyes and used the god eye mark to sense the fifth prince's location. When Zhao Feng pulled the bowstring, and the fire of wind lightning entered it. A scarlet arrow of lightning condensed on the sky-locking bow. Whoosh! Whoosh! Zhao Feng casually shot out an arrow. The fifth prince, who had already escaped very far away, felt something weird. It was as if a pair of eyes was staring at him. The fifth prince suddenly turned around and saw a scarlet arrow of lightning shooting toward him. Sneak attack? The fifth prince's expression changed dramatically. He immediately circulated his true yuan and used a defensive secret technique. Boom! When the dust settled, the fifth prince's entire body was scorched black. He was only an emperor, so he obviously couldn't block Zhao Feng's attack. If Zhao Feng used the sky-locking bow with all his strength, this arrow would be able to take the fifth prince's life. How is this possible? How can Zhao Feng attack us from so far away? The 12th prince squinted his eyes and saw Zhao Feng holding a silver bow on the city wall. Run! This is a little weird. The 5th prince was filled with hatred and anger, but there was nothing he could do. Whoosh! Another arrow arrived. This time, the target was the 12th prince. Boom! Zhao Feng. The 12th prince's eyes bulged in anger. The two princes then retreated several hundred miles again. However, mysterious arrows of light continued to fly over and hit the 5th prince and the 12th prince. The members that followed the two princes were even more shocked. No matter where the two princes ran to, the arrows shot by Zhao Feng seemed to have eyes and would always find the two princes. Finally, the draconic providence in the pseudo-crown prince seal was used up. They were forced to ask for help and teleported away. On the other hand, no one on the 9th prince's city wall knew what Zhao Feng was doing. They only knew that he kept pulling the bowstring, and the arrows of light flew into the distance. However, everyone outside the great Qian dynasty palace saw everything clearly. From a few thousand miles away, Zhao Feng could casually pull the bowstring and hit the two princes. Even archery experts in the Lord dynasty couldn't do this. The 2nd prince was dazed. He suddenly felt that admitting defeat and leaving was the right choice. At this moment, the 5th prince and the 12th prince were in a ruffled state. Their bodies were scorched black, and they were forced to use their pseudo-crown prince seal to ask for help. They were undoubtedly more embarrassed than the 2nd prince. After this battle, the owners of the 4 Heavens Legacy cities were decided. As for Zhao Feng, he was deeply engraved in the minds of the experts of many factions. His meticulous and calm thoughts, his powerful strength, and his endless methods were truly admirable. The faces of the experts in the 8th Prince's Hall were flushed red. They didn't expect the 9th Prince to be able to take over a Heaven's Legacy city and enter the 3rd stage of the Crown Prince trial. Master! Bai Qingdua's clear eyes looked at the 9th Prince's screen with admiration. As expected of the Grand Elder, Zhang Jie also admired Zhao Feng. Defeating a sacred lord with the cultivation of a king was probably something that only Zhao Feng had done in the history of the Lord dynasty. Zhao Feng. Tai Hongnan had a grim expression. He couldn't help but want to take Zhao Feng as a disciple due to his talent in battle. Unfortunately, Zhao Feng wasn't willing to return to the Tai family, and his soul wasn't that of a member of the Tai family. Elder Hongnan, what should we do about Zhao Feng? Tai Litian asked. Tai Hongnan didn't say anything. Originally, they would have taken forceful measures. However, he needed to go back and discuss this with the other elders of the family. Within the 13th Prince's Hall, this Zhao Feng, Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss of 9 Darkness Palace, had an ugly expression. Zhao Feng's potential made him uneasy. On top of that, the fact that Zhao Feng had the perfect Blood Devil's Son bloodline gave Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss a headache. As night arrived, the members of the 7th Prince's team were teleported out through the stone tablet. The Crown Prince trial had entered the 3rd stage, the battle between the princes. Chapter 983. Right now, only the 4 princes and their team members living in the 4 Heavens Legacy cities were left in the imperial tombs. The 8th prince and the 9th prince's team could finally let out a breath. There's still 10 days of rest before the 3rd stage begins. Everyone, go and prepare yourselves. Olding looked at the exhausted team members. Everyone had worked very hard in order to take over a Heaven's Legacy city and stabilize themselves. They were all exhausted. Olding, what's the 3rd stage? Zhou Sue couldn't help but ask. Although she had asked a long time ago, Olding had always said that it was too early, and there was no point in telling her. The Game of Princes will be held in the 4 Heavens Legacy cities. At that time, the Heavens Legacy cities will randomly open a game, and the participants will be the 4 princes and their team members. At this point in time, Olding told Olding everything he knew. At the start, he only thought that the 9th prince had a sliver of hope to obtain a Heaven's Legacy city if he was lucky, but that was under the best-case scenario. Therefore, there was no point in saying too much about the 3rd stage. It would only distract them. Even now, he still felt like he was dreaming. He didn't expect that the 9th prince would be able to occupy a Heaven's Legacy city alongside the 4th prince, the 13th prince, and the 8th prince. It sounds very interesting. Zhou Su nodded her head, not really understanding. Zhao Feng was slightly surprised. The Game of Princes was actually being held by the Heaven's Legacy cities? the first Imperials must have spent a lot of resources to make some sort of agreement with the Heaven's Legacy cities. No one can predict what kind of game will be opened in Tianji City. From the very beginning of the Crown Prince trial until now, there have been repeated games. However, the second time has been improved. Therefore, this game still has a certain level of fairness, Olding explained to everyone. Up until now, there had never been a game similar to the Prince's game. Therefore, it was difficult to prepare in advance. Furthermore, since it was a game, it wasn't as simple as comparing strength. There were many other factors. Of course, the main goal of this game is to fight for Draconic Providence, Olding emphasized. The fourth stage, the fight for the Grand Seal, was basically a competition of Draconic Providence. This had never changed. Everyone who knew about the battle for Crown Prince knew. This was why the game of princes was so important. It was their only chance to fight for Draconic Providence. The ninth prince's pseudo-crown prince seal had the least amount of Draconic Providence out of all the princes in the imperial tombs. If they wanted to fight for the crown prince, the ninth prince's team would have to be stronger than the other three princes. Otherwise, they would be eliminated after the third stage. Don't worry, just do your best when the time comes, the ninth prince said with a faint smile. To a certain degree, the ninth prince had already proven himself by reaching this step. This was also his original intention. He wanted to prove himself by competing with the princes. And princes, we princes, and princes, and prince, and princes, prince, and prince, and princes. Prince. And prince. In. Princes. King Emperor. King, Prince R. Wang. And out. Prince, out. Ling. Li. Ling, out. I. Prince. Shiyue added. He was afraid that the others would be under too much pressure, so he cooperated with Olding and the ninth prince. Oh, brother ninth prince still has hope. Don't worry. Zhou Su'er suddenly stood up and patted the ninth prince's shoulder. Shiyue and Old Ying's expressions froze as they looked around. In reality, the other members of the ninth prince's team weren't worried at all. Zhou Su obviously didn't care about anything. Shinjizi sat quietly on the side with his eyes closed. No one knew what he was calculating. Zhao Feng seemed to have entered a cultivation state, and after Zhao Feng planted the Dark Heart seal in Jingkai, he also focused on cultivation, and his personality changed. On the other hand, Su Qingling was more responsible and showed a solemn expression. Okay, there are still 10 days left. Everyone, do your best to increase your strength and get ready, Olding urged before leaving with the ninth prince. Seeing that the meeting was over, Zhao Feng got up and left as well. Although he was in a cultivation state, he knew what was going on in the outside world, and he heard everything that was said. Right now, Zhao Feng was cultivating the undying sacred lightning body. His sacred lightning body could cultivate the undying sacred lightning body with the help of the intent of death and the Emperor of Death's laws of death. The damage reduction of the undying sacred lightning body was very obvious, and normal damage could be ignored. Furthermore, the indestructible nature of the undying sacred lightning body could complement the sacred body of a mystic light realm sacred lord. On top of that, Zhao Feng had just become an emperor, so he needed to build a good foundation to break through to the mystic light realm. Furthermore, Zhao Feng had already obtained the complete 10,000 divine thoughts technique. He felt that cultivating the 10,000 divine thoughts technique to the peak would be very useful to him. That's right, Zhou Su'er, do you know what the 3-life evil ghost flower is used for? Zhao Feng suddenly thought of a question. When he was trying to enter the Imperial Sky Inheritance, Sacred Lord Black Demon had taken a liking to the red flower that he didn't think highly of. He believed that the 3-life evil ghost flower would be very valuable in certain areas. Why are you asking this? The 3-life evil ghost flower is a great herb for cultivating demonic Dao clones. It can increase the chances of forming a demonic Dao clone and increase the power of the clone. Zhou Su'er was surprised. Zhao Feng hadn't cultivated any demonic Dao techniques before, so why was he asking this? Are you planning to form a ghost Dao clone in the future? Zhou Su asked. It was very likely that Zhao Feng had obtained a very precious demonic Dao clone technique in the Imperial tombs. No, I'm just asking. Zhao Feng had a calm expression. From the looks of it, the 3-life evil ghost flower was a precious resource for demonic cultivators. The clone technique was a technique that only sacred lords could use. Normally, only those at the early stages of the mystic light realm would cultivate this technique. But some early-stage mystic light realm cultivators with strong sacred bodies would cultivate this technique as well. The strength of the clone was directly related to the rank of the secret technique. Herbs that could increase the power of the clone were very precious, and they were basically the same as increasing the rank of the clone technique. After knowing what the 3-life evil ghost flower could do, Zhao Feng felt that it was even more useless to him. Zhao Feng arrived at the spiritual pet garden once more after walking out of the metallic room. Do you want to take care of your pets, train them, or buy them? A short elder puppet slowly walked over. I need 10 emperor-level flying beasts. This time, Zhao Feng chose 10 dragon-winged eagles. They could be considered a small group of flying beasts. After walking out of the spiritual pet garden, Zhao Feng gave 10 dim dragon jades to each dragon-winged eagle. These 10 dragon jades were the ones that the little thieving cat had stolen from the emperors and quasi-sacred lords that had fallen into Zhao Feng's little world yesterday. The draconic providence on them had already been given to the 9th prince. Whoosh! The 10 dragon-winged eagles grabbed the dragon jades and charged into the sky in different directions. There's not much time left until the end of the Crown Prince trial. I'll collect as much draconic providence as I can. Since Zhao Feng had promised the 9th prince that he would take a spot, he would obviously do his best to help him. After entering the Heaven's Legacy City, no one would leave the Heaven's Legacy City to collect draconic providence. Everyone was using the fortune they obtained in the Heaven's Legacy City to increase their strength. Some beast tamers had used beasts to collect draconic providence before, but there was a lot of risk involved. However, it was extremely risky. If the demonic beast encountered a crisis while collecting the draconic chi and lost the dragon jade, it would be disastrous. However, Zhao Feng was different. He could use the Dark Heart Seal to obtain the vision of the flying beasts. If there was danger, he would tell his spiritual pets to leave or use the Eye of Heaven to help. This was all thanks to the 10,000 Divine Thoughts technique. Otherwise, it would be very difficult for Zhao Feng to share the vision of almost 20 flying beasts at the same time. Furthermore, Zhao Feng had other things to do. 10 days passed in the blink of an eye. Zhao Feng's sacred lightning body now had a wisp of an undying body. The strengthening of the sky-shaking Golden 8 bloodline was also very successful. Furthermore, Jing Kai's cultivation had reached the level of a quasi-sacred lord, which was a good thing for the team. On this day, the 9th Prince's team arrived at the plaza in the center of the Heaven's Legacy City. There was a special metal staircase in front of a beautiful fountain, and there was a gray-white stone platform on top of the staircase. The members of the 9th Prince's team all walked up the metal staircase. When the 9th Prince took out his pseudo-Crown Prince seal and placed it on the gray-white stone platform. One boom! Boom! The entire stone platform carried everyone into the sky. In the sky above the Great Gon Lord dynasty, an image finally appeared on the dim light screen. Even though the pseudo-Crown Prince seal had a surveillance array in the Heaven's Legacy City, it was useless. The outside world would only be able to see the images when the princes flew into the sky and left the Heaven's Legacy City. I can finally see it. The main show of the 3rd stage is about to begin. I wonder what kind of game the Heaven's Legacy City will open this time. Everyone in the outside world wanted to know how the 3rd stage would proceed. Inside the Imperial tombs, the 4 princes stood on the staircase and floated in the air, forming a square. When an illusionary elder suddenly appeared in the middle of the 4 princes. From the shape of the elder, one could tell that he was a mechanical puppet. Princes, it's time for the battle of the princes now! The illusionary elder's voice spread in every direction. As for me, I will be the witness of this game. A black piece of metal that couldn't be seen clearly appeared in the illusionary elder's hand. This time I'll open. The old man abruptly tossed a black piece of metal out, and mysterious and obscure patterns immediately bloomed on its surface. Clang! The black piece of metal floated in the air and started to expand with the sound of metal clanging. The black piece of metal turned into a metallic object that filled the square in the middle of the four princes. A game board was formed. Moving Maze Palace. Chapter 984. The teams of the four princes stood on the stairs and looked at the complicated maze in front of them. This maze was made up of black metal, and it floated in the middle of the four princes like a chessboard. However, in reality, this maze was another world of its own. Firstly, each prince's team will randomly choose a few people to enter the maze based on the total number of people. The transparent elder's voice suddenly sounded. When an ancient and complicated array instantly appeared on the stairs the four princes were standing on, and a weird undulation of spatial energy locked onto several people. Olding, Su Qingling, Jing Kai, and Zhao Feng on the ninth prince's stairs started to flash with silver light. Whoosh! 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 The four of them disappeared from the ninth prince's stairs. At the same time, the ninth prince, Zhou Suer, and company saw the four people who disappeared appear in different places in the maze. What a unique technique! Zhou Suer couldn't help but sigh. At the same time, a certain number of members from the other princes' teams were teleported to different corners of the maze. They are the princes' chess pieces. Only the princes can use their pseudo-crown prince seal to communicate with the members in the moving maze and command them. The transparent elder explained the rules of the game. If two people meet each other in the maze, there will be a duel. The winner will obtain 10% of the draconic providence in the loser's dragon jade. This meant that the battles were random. As long as two people met each other in the maze, there would be a special duel. The transparent elder looked down at the maze and said with a faint smile, "Now, the princes, please give your draconic providence to the members in the maze." Interesting. Zhao Feng stood in the maze and inspected his surroundings. His five senses and divine sense were all restricted here. He couldn't even sense what was on the other side of the black metal walls. The walls above the maze were also made of black metal. However, the princes could see what was happening in the maze from the outside. From the perspective of the people outside, the maze was just a chessboard that was around 100 yards long and wide, and the people inside were just small chess pieces. The princes, on the other hand, were like gods that could see the entire situation and command everyone. When Zhao Feng's dragon jade glowed brighter as draconic providence filled it. "Everyone, we're fine. At least Zhou Suer didn't enter the maze." The ninth prince's voice sounded in everyone's minds through the dragon jades. "In that case, the other princes' teams also have doctors here?" Zhao Feng asked immediately. "Indeed," the ninth prince said. Only 4 people from the ninth prince's team had entered the maze palace: Olding, Zhao Feng, Su Qingling, and Jing Kai. Shirule, who was relatively strong, didn't enter, but Zhou Suer, who was extremely weak in battle, wasn't chosen either. This situation was indeed considered good. The doctors in the 8th prince's team weren't good at fighting, and if they wanted to leave the maze, they would have to lose 100% of their draconic providence. As expected, luck also played a part in the 3rd segment. "What should we do next?" Su Qingling's cold voice sounded. She was not very strong, so she was a little afraid. "If any dangerous enemies appear in your surroundings, I will give you a hint." The 9th prince's voice sounded. "It's not that simple." Zhao Feng had a confident expression. The 4 princes could see what was going on in the maze palace. The people in the maze palace couldn't hide just because they wanted to. This game was a great test of the prince's wisdom and judgment. If the 9th prince was able to command them well, he would be able to make Su Qingling avoid fighting and allow Zhao Feng and Olding to fight with the weaker people. "Zhao Feng, Sacred Lord Black Demon is moving toward you. The 13th prince should be giving Sacred Lord Black Demon directions." The 9th prince's voice sounded in Zhao Feng's mind. "Olding, there's a weaker quasi-sacred lord to your left. Go left first, and then choose the right path. Su Qingling, go to the right. There are fewer people there, so try to avoid fighting. On the stairs, the four princes were fully focused as they looked at the maze palace below. They placed their hands on the pseudo-crown prince seal and communicated with the members of the maze palace, giving them directions, and stealing the draconic providence from the other members. Then, let the game begin! The transparent elder's voice sounded in everyone's ears. Boom! 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 The walls around the maze palace started to move. Some of the walls sank into the ground, while others suddenly popped up. The moving maze palace makes it harder for the princes to command, Zhao Feng said faintly. Because the terrain was constantly changing, the princes needed to pay attention to the situation of each member and give them directions. Furthermore, the changing terrain could prevent some members from remembering the layout of the maze palace. The see-through ability of the god's spiritual eye is useless. Zhao Feng's left eye stared at the wall to the side, but he was unable to see through it. Zhao Feng, Sacred Lord Black Demon is coming over from your left, the ninth prince suddenly said. It was obvious that the ninth prince had forgotten about Zhao Feng's situation when he was giving directions to the others. Ninth prince, you don't need to worry about me and Jing Kai. Focus on commanding Old Ing and Su Qingling. Zhao Feng messaged the ninth prince. Suddenly, a terrifying and eerie demonic pressure appeared from the side path. Who? Zhao Feng, it's time for you to die. Sacred Lord Black Demon had a gruesome smile as he approached Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng had a calm expression as he looked at Sacred Lord Black Demon and surveyed his surroundings. When the two were 30 yards apart, the scenery around them suddenly twisted and disappeared. Hu Zhao Feng and Sacred Lord Black Demon appeared in another dimension. When the two of them meet, there will be a duel. Zhao Feng murmured the rules of the game that the transparent elder told him. This was a plain with many weird trees that were thousands of yards tall. Sacred Lord Black Demon and Zhao Feng both appeared in this scene. Uncle, my kite is hanging on that tree. Can you take it down for me? A young child next to Zhao Feng and Sacred Lord Black Demon jumped around in joy. Little brat, fuck off. Sacred Lord Black Demon's expression became angry as he waved his sleeve. A wave of boundless and oppressive pitch-black magical power twisted into a black dragon and attacked the young child as it spat out blood. Suddenly, an invisible energy barrier appeared around the child. Sacred Lord Black Demon's attack was reflected and landed on Sacred Lord Black Demon's body. Sacred Lord Black Demon jumped up in fright and thrust out his palm to cancel out the attack. Sacred Lord Black Demon, you and Zhao Feng are in the same game. You can't harm that little boy. You have to do as he says. The 13th prince's voice sounded in Sacred Lord Black Demon's mind. Damn it, this brat. Sacred Lord Black Demon's eyes were filled with anger, but there was nothing he could do. He originally thought that he would be able to fight with Zhao Feng after meeting him. He didn't expect to enter this strange game scene, and he even had to play according to the rules. Zhao Feng? Sacred Lord Black Demon suddenly realized that Zhao Feng had already flown toward a tree, and there was a red kite on top of it. Whose Sacred Lord Black Demon instantly jumped into the air and chased after Zhao Feng. What a strong gravitational force. Zhao Feng felt an invisible gravitational force suppress him. The higher he flew, the stronger the gravitational force became. And this tree was at least 10,000 zhang tall. Zhao Feng was speechless. How could this kid fly a kite so high? From the looks of it, this scene was probably just an illusion. The content was set up by the Heaven's Legacy race, so it couldn't be judged by normal standards. Boom! Zhao Feng circulated his sacred lightning body, and golden lightning radiated from his body. With the help of the sacred lightning body, Zhao Feng's resistance to pressure increased dramatically. At the same time, his speed also increased. Whoosh! Zhao Feng instantly charged several hundred yards. There's even a gravitational force. Sacred Lord Black Demon had an ugly expression, but since he had a sacred body, his resistance was even stronger. Black Demon escape. Black flames rose from Sacred Lord Black Demon's body, and a powerful current of black flames surrounded his legs. who a surge of black flames exploded from his feet, and Sacred Lord Black Demon seemed to glide through the air as he charged upward. Humph! Without saying anything else, Zhao Feng immediately activated his perfect Blood Devil Sun bloodline. Boom! With a string of explosions, Zhao Feng's speed reached the limit as he charged toward the top of the tree. Since Zhao Feng had acted earlier than Sacred Lord Black Demon, Sacred Lord Black Demon's speed increased to the limit. Zhao Feng successfully obtained the red kite. Zhao Feng, the kite is mine! Sacred Lord Black Demon roared as he charged forward. Blood Devil Charge. The Blood Devil Sun around Zhao Feng's body started to burn and give off the sound of exploding flames. The image of a blood-red sun started to appear behind him, and a whirlpool started to spin. Under the effect of the Blood Devil Charge, Zhao Feng's scarlet-red wings left a trail of light behind him, and the image of the blood-red sun behind him released a layer of golden and blood-red light as it charged downward like an ancient golden crow. Boom! 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 The gravity that had stopped him when he was ascending had now become a boost for Zhao Feng, and it pushed his speed and explosiveness to unprecedented heights. Not good. Sacred Lord Black Demon's expression changed dramatically. The terrifying power of Zhao Feng's descent made his heart shake even though they were so far away. Sacred Lord Black Demon wasn't a body-strengthening expert, so he obviously wouldn't clash head-on with Zhao Feng. He immediately moved to the side and dodged Zhao Feng's attack. Goodbye. Zhao Feng didn't bother with Sacred Lord Black Demon. He used the momentum of his descent to fly toward the ground at an extremely fast speed. Zhao Feng glided toward the little boy and handed the kite to him. Thank you, Uncle Candy. I have candy for Uncle Candy. The little boy happily took the kite and reached out with his chubby little hand. There was a substandard god crystal on it. Zhao Feng's eyes paused for a moment before he quickly took the substandard god crystal. Damn it, Zhao Feng! Sacred Lord Black Demon finally arrived at this moment and was about to attack Zhao Feng. However, a mechanical voice suddenly sounded. Victor, Zhao Feng. 10% of Sacred Lord Black Demon's draconic providence flowed out of his dragon jade and entered Zhao Feng's dragon jade. The scenery around them started to twist and disappear. Zhao Feng returned to the maze palace, but his location was different from when he disappeared. It seemed like he had randomly appeared somewhere in the maze palace. So that's how it is. After experiencing it once, Zhao Feng understood the rules of the moving maze palace. Chapter 985. Above the Heaven's Legacy City, the four princes inspected the maze palace and used their pseudo-crown prince seal to command the members of the maze palace. Above the moving maze, a few incorporeal spheres would appear from time to time. The scenes of the duels were happening within the balls. Within one of the balls, Zhao Feng charged into a tree and picked up a red kite. As expected of the Heaven's Legacy race, their ability to create is unimaginable. Who knows how many secret dimensions there are in this game? Yule was stunned. It was a pity that he wasn't able to experience it. Shinjizi looked at the maze palace below with unfocused eyes, as if he was calculating something. Good, Zhao Feng has defeated Sacred Lord Black Demon and obtained 10% of his draconic providence. Yule called out in surprise. The ball that Zhao Feng was in then disappeared from the maze palace. Brother Zhao is both brave and intelligent. The ninth prince let out a breath. Because he was careless, Sacred Lord Black Demon was able to get close to Zhao Feng. Luckily, Zhao Feng won in the end. Zhao Feng's ability to adapt to unknown environments was much faster than normal people. I'll listen to Zhao Feng and focus on commanding Old Ing and Su Qingling. The ninth prince trusted Zhao Feng's decision. Within the moving maze palace, Jing Kai met an elder in azure robes from the fourth prince's team. Ha ha ha! Jing Kai from the ninth prince's team! The elder in azure robes revealed a wicked smile as he charged forward. When he was a certain distance away from Jing Kaida, when the scenery around them started to twist, and the two appeared in another dimension. Jing Kai and the elder in azure robes looked at each other in the forest. Behind Jing Kai, several hundred villagers knelt on the ground and begged. Hero, please save our village. The bandits are here again. I beg you, help us chase away these bandits. Several dozen fierce bandits held large blades and axes behind the elder in azure robes and had evil smiles on their faces. Big bro, let's go! That's right. Our brothers haven't eaten in months. The green-robed old man's eyes were wide open, and he was so angry that his beard was curling up. Although he knew that these scenes were random and the plot content was also fake, he, a dignified law enforcement elder of a 3-star sect, actually became the leader of a robber in this scene. Jing Kai, let's end this. The green-robed old man rushed out impatiently. Azure C3 styles. As the green-robed old man waved his hand, waves of resplendent water curtains appeared, combining toughness and gentleness to form a dark green whirlpool with a diameter of 1,000 feet, sweeping towards Jing Kai. Jing Kai was ready for battle. A dazzling golden light appeared around his body and revolved around him in a regular pattern. Hu Chi Chi. The golden light sword and the dark green light screen intertwined, unleashing boundless power that destroyed the surrounding mountains and rivers. Hee, Jing Kai, you've only just become a quasi-sacred lord, right? The green-robed old man burst into laughter. Boom! Boundless dark green whirlpools engulfed Jing Kai and almost drowned him. Suddenly, a faint golden eye of heaven appeared above the battle. A surge of eye intent that could pierce through heaven and earth charged toward the azure-robed elder. Arg! The azure-robed elder screamed as 10,000 bolts of lightning struck his soul, and his body froze. Jing Kai instantly passed by the azure-robed elder and waved his hand. Countless beams of golden light shot out and killed all the bandits. Victor, Jing Kai! A mechanical voice sounded. How is this possible? That I... The azure-robed elder's expression was filled with fear. A surge of draconic providence came from the azure-robed elder's body and entered Jing Kai's dragon jade. Thank you, master! Jing Kai said in a low tone. At the same time, the villagers behind him started to cheer. Hero, thank you for saving our village. This is a small gift from us. The expressions of everyone on the 4th Prince's stage paused. How could the azure-robed elder have lost? What was that golden eye that appeared in the space just now? 13th Prince, I don't know either. As I was fighting with Jing Kai, a powerful surge of eye intent suddenly descended from the sky. The elder in gray explained helplessly. He felt that he had lost too unjustly. That golden eye, could it be Zhao Feng? The 13th Prince was puzzled when he thought about Zhao Feng's golden hair and eyes. Zhao Feng opened his eyes within the maze palace. Using the eye of heaven expends a lot of eye intent, Zhao Feng said softly. Zhao Feng could use the dark heart seal to communicate with those that Zhao Feng had imprinted on them, obtain their vision, and even help them across space. However, this was the first time he had crossed a spatial barrier and used the eye of heaven. Luckily, the secret dimension where the duel took place wasn't far away from the moving maze palace, and the structure of that secret dimension was extremely simple. It was much better for Zhao Feng to help Jing Kai than for the 9th Prince to command him. At this moment, the 9th Prince was fully focused on commanding Olding and Su Qingling, so they were more efficient. Zhao Feng then started to move. However, Zhao Feng didn't see a single person even after walking for a long time in the maze palace. Looks like I've exposed my strength. Most people are avoiding me. Zhao Feng sighed helplessly. The strength he displayed during the battle was comparable to an experienced initial stage mystic light realm's sacred lord. Most of the people participating in the moving maze palace were quasi-sacred lords, so they obviously avoided Zhao Feng. This means that I can only meet a sacred lord. Zhao Feng's eyebrows furrowed. Although he wasn't scared of a sacred lord right now, there were many possibilities in the duel. In terms of experience and knowledge, sacred lords were much stronger than him. Zhao Feng didn't want to waste time with sacred lords. It was easier to deal with the quasi-sacred lords and emperors. If that's the case, then I'll just rely on luck. A strong aura of wind lightning appeared around Zhao Feng. Whoosh! A pair of scarlet wings of lightning spread behind his back. Whoosh! Zhao Feng randomly chose a direction and turned into a bolt of lightning that flashed by. Everyone else in the maze palace carefully followed the prince's directions. At this moment, Zhao Feng used a secret speed technique and sped through the changing maze palace. Whoever he met would be who he was. Luo Zun, not good! Zhao Feng is approaching you! The eighth prince's voice suddenly sounded in Luo Zun's mind as he walked through the maze palace. Luo Zun paused for a moment. Although he knew that he wasn't Zhao Feng's match, he didn't want to run away this time. Furthermore, the duels in the maze palace didn't just rely on strength. Zhao Feng! Luo Zun charged forward when he saw Zhao Feng appear in front of him. When the two of them appeared in a world of ice and snow. I urgently need the freezing ice mystic metal under the 1,000-year mystic ice. Which one of you can help me mine some? A middle-aged male wearing a robe looked at Zhao Feng and Luo Zun. Zhao Feng, I'm sorry, but this is my forte, the land of ice. Luo Zun puffed out his chest and revealed a smug smile. Although defeating Zhao Feng in his forte wasn't enough, luck was also a part of one's strength. An extremely cold power appeared in Luo Zun's left hand, and the nearby temperature dropped by dozens of degrees due to the cold aura. Even the air was completely frozen. Luo Zun pressed his hand on the layer of ice and released a surge of cold power. Crack! The layer of ice on the ground suddenly cracked open, but this wasn't enough. No one knew how deep the freezing ice mystic metal that this middle-aged male needed was buried. Zhao Feng looked at the layer of ice below. The freezing ice mystic metal is 1,000 yards underground. He also had the ice-water bloodline, but he specialized in defense and healing. He probably wasn't as good as Luo Zun at mining. Meow meow! The little thieving cat instantly appeared on Zhao Feng's shoulder and leaned on a spade. It revealed a cool expression as if it was time for it to perform. The little thieving cat landed on the layer of ice and started to dig hard with the spade. Boom! 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 The surface of the ground suddenly started to shake. Zhao Feng's left eye saw that the layer of ice was collapsing. The piece of freezing ice mystic metal was moving upwards. Luo Zun had a weird expression as he looked at Zhao Feng and the little thieving cat. Just now, he felt the depths of the ice shake. He didn't understand what Zhao Feng and his spiritual pet were doing. Crack! Crack! The little thieving cat quickly waved the spade and started to dig into the ground. Boom! Boom! The entire layer of ice started to shake and collapse as if a desolate beast was about to charge out of the ground. Boom! Boom! The shaking became louder and louder. In the end, the entire ground started to shake. Luo Zun had a surprised expression. He didn't know what Zhao Feng's spiritual pet had done to make the layer of ice several thousand yards underground shatter. Crack! Caw caw caw! The place that the little thieving cat had dug suddenly exploded, and a giant hole appeared. One could faintly see that the layer of ice below had been completely destroyed and was cracking inch by inch. A piece of gold-white metal was stuck in one of the cracks. Whoosh! Zhao Feng immediately charged into the hole and took out the freezing ice mystic metal. How is this possible? Luo Zun, who was still circulating his power of ice, was instantly dazed. He still didn't understand what Zhao Feng and his pet had done to make the freezing ice mystic metal, which was several thousand yards underground, jump out by itself. Thank you, young man. This is your reward. A middle-aged male in cotton revealed a faint smile and handed over a few glowing ores. Victor, Zhao Feng! An ethereal voice sounded in the dimension. The dragon jade on Zhao Feng's body started to glow brighter. In the next instant, Zhao Feng returned to the maze palace. This still isn't enough. Zhao Feng stood where he was. If it wasn't for the fact that Luo Zun had charged out, Zhao Feng wouldn't have even noticed that there was someone there. His 5 senses and divine sense were restricted, and the see-through ability of his left eye was useless. This was indeed troublesome. The see-through ability of my left eye can't see through the walls of the maze palace. What if I do this? Zhao Feng suddenly thought of something. when a faint golden ripple spread across Zhao Feng's golden eye. Zhao Feng's left eye had the see-through ability, but the golden eye's new ability also had a strong see-through ability. It works! Zhao Feng was overjoyed. At this moment, his left eye was looking at a world made of faint golden particles, and his gaze could see through dozens of metal walls. The structure of the metal walls was extremely complicated, several times more complicated than a supreme-quality Earth-grade weapon. Of course, this wasn't the main point of Zhao Feng's observation. In this way, everyone within the 10 walls will be under my control. Zhao Feng was secretly delighted. This would make things much easier. However, the illusory elder above the moving maze palace suddenly started to glow with a faint white light. A serious cheater has been discovered and will be punished. Chapter 986. A serious cheater has been discovered and will be punished. The transparent elder's words sounded in everyone's ears. Who cheated? Someone immediately asked. The 4 princes could only communicate with the members within the maze palace, and the people outside couldn't do anything. This meant that the cheater was most likely a member of the maze palace. What kind of punishment will they give? This has happened in the past Crown Prince trials as well. The punishment should be that the cheater will be in a disadvantageous situation or be restricted in some way. The eyes of an experienced quasi-sacred lord twinkled. However, they didn't know who the cheater was, and they didn't know what this transparent elder's standards were. Within the moving maze palace, meow meow. The little thieving cat suddenly appeared on Zhao Feng's shoulder and pointed at Zhao Feng's left eye with a gloating expression. Zhao Feng immediately used his left eye to look at the little thieving cat. Meow meow. The little thieving cat immediately dodged Zhao Feng's gaze and turned into a streak of light that disappeared into the misty spatial world. Looks like I'm the cheater, Zhao Feng concluded from the little thieving cat's performance. He didn't know what would happen if he used the power of his left eye. The Heaven's Legacy City's punishment didn't seem very good. At the same time, a cold robotic voice sounded in Zhao Feng's mind. Because you have an item or device that can release the light of transparency, you have severely damaged the essence of the moving maze palace and affected the fairness of the game. Therefore, you will receive the following punishments. First, you will expose your location. Everyone in the maze palace will be able to sense your approximate location. Second, you are not allowed to leave the game in the middle unless you lose 3 times the normal amount of draconic providence. Third, you will be discriminated against by the other non-player characters, and you will be the villain. Zhao Feng paused for a long time before speaking. This is the punishment. Zhao Feng let out a breath. He originally thought that the Heaven's Legacy City would punish him or something. Looks like I was exaggerating. The 3 punishments just then were only for the game. It only made the cheaters fall into a disadvantageous position in the game. Hee, this is even more convenient. Zhao Feng suddenly laughed. The first punishment was to allow all the members in the maze to sense Zhao Feng's location. This way, the other members of the labyrinth would move closer to Zhao Feng. If this happened to other people, it might be a nightmare, but Zhao Feng liked it very much. The second rule was that everyone else had to lose 100% of their draconic luck to leave, but Zhao Feng had to lose at least 3 times that amount before he could leave. However, Zhao Feng did not think that his score in the mobile maze would be negative. Therefore, this punishment was completely ignored by him. The third punishment is being discriminated against by non-player characters. Zhao Feng hesitated for a moment. He couldn't think of anything that would be disadvantageous to him. As for being the villain, Zhao Feng didn't care at all. After all, everything in this scenario was fake. All in all, Zhao Feng didn't feel like these 3 punishments would affect him much. In fact, the first punishment was actually a reward for him. At the same time, a mechanical voice sounded in the minds of all the members in the maze palace. You can now sense the approximate location of the cheater. Defeating the cheater will give you even more rewards. Apart from Zhao Feng, all the other members were stunned. Who's the cheater? This was the first question in everyone's mind. Furthermore, defeating the cheater would give them even more rewards. Therefore, everyone started to head in a certain direction uncontrollably. Ninth Prince, tell Old Ing and Su Qingling not to look for the cheater. Zhao Feng knew some things through Jing Kai, so he messaged the Ninth Prince. When members of the same team met, they had to go through the scenario. Therefore, the princes usually told the members in the Maze Palace to split up. Brother Zhao, are you a cheater? The Ninth Prince stuttered. Pretty much. Zhao Feng replied simply. He didn't know that doing this would be considered cheating. Okay. The Ninth Prince's expression darkened. As expected, no matter what Zhao Feng did, he would be different from the rest. While everyone was familiarizing themselves with the rules and environment of the game, Zhao Feng had already started to cheat. Zhao Feng, the punishment for the cheater. The Ninth Prince was slightly worried. The transparent elder in the sky didn't say who the cheater was or what the punishment would be. You don't have to worry about that. They're all unimportant punishments, Zhao Feng quickly said. His left eye saw through the metal wall and saw several figures. Okay. Be careful. Seeing that Zhao Feng wasn't willing to say anything, the Ninth Prince didn't ask any further. Old Ing, Su Qingling, don't get close to the cheater. He's Zhao Feng. The Ninth Prince immediately messaged the two. On the other side. The cheater should be in this direction. I just don't know how far away he is. Shi Ping from the Earth Demon cult from the 13th Prince's team had a solemn expression. Even though he didn't know the true identity of the cheater, he still unconsciously got closer and followed the direction in his mind. Shi Ping, watch out. Zhao Feng is next to you. The Ninth Prince immediately messaged after seeing Shi Ping's situation. It was obvious that the 13th Prince wasn't able to observe and command too many people at the same time. Zhao Feng is nearby. Shi Ping's heart shook, and he quickly retreated. He obviously knew that he wasn't Zhao Feng's match. Furthermore, Zhao Feng had many tricks up his sleeves. He had a certain advantage in this complicated and ever-changing environment. You want to run? Zhao Feng revealed a cold smile as he spread his scarlet wings of lightning, and used the lightning wings flying technique to travel through the Maze Palace. Shi Ping couldn't see Zhao Feng, so he only listened to the 13th Prince's commands and escaped. He wasn't very agile in the moving Maze Palace. On the other hand, Zhao Feng could see Shi Ping and locked onto him. He controlled the terrain around him and smoothly traveled through the Maze Palace, soon catching up to Shi Ping. When the scenery around them started to twist. In a bustling city, there was a lot of noise. Zhao Feng and Shi Ping stood on a red martial arts arena. It's over. It's an arena? Shi Ping's heart dropped. He had personally seen Zhao Feng defeat Sacred Lord Dark Soul. He didn't have any confidence fighting Zhao Feng at all. You two have fought to a draw, but I only have one daughter. How about this? My daughter will throw a ball, and whoever catches it will be the son-in-law of the Qin family. A chubby middle-aged male said with a warm smile from a tall building that was 100 yards tall in front of the arena. Shi Ping raised his head and looked around. Below the arena, there were sounds of congratulations. The two of you are very skilled. Congratulations. I wonder who will be able to marry the daughter of the Qin family. In the festive pavilion, a beautiful woman in a red wedding dress looked at Shi Ping shyly. She had an apricot face and peach cheeks. Several young maids and a chubby middle-aged male were next to her. It's not a martial arts duel. Shi Ping was overjoyed. In this setting, he and Zhao Feng were both here to participate in the joust for a spouse, but the two of them had fought to a draw. From the looks of it, whoever catches the ball will be the winner. Zhao Feng started to think. The beautiful female in the building looked at Zhao Feng and revealed a look of disdain. Father, that youth is really ugly, and he has no aura at all. He's wearing very poor clothes, and he gives off a weird stench from head to toe. The daughter of the Qin family whispered in her father's ear. Daughter, now that you mention it, I feel the same way. The chubby middle-aged male inspected Zhao Feng with disgust. On the other hand, this middle-aged male is very mature and steady. His eyes are filled with the vicissitudes of life. How heroic! The face of the beautiful female in the joust for a spouse instantly went red as she looked at Xi Ping. The conversation between the two obviously didn't escape the ears of Zhao Feng and Xi Ping. This is. Xi Ping froze on the spot and blushed. He suddenly felt that he had become the main character in this duel. The key characters in the scene seemed to have an inexplicable liking for him. This is the so-called discrimination of non-player characters. Zhao Feng was speechless. As expected, he was severely discriminated against by non-player characters. Whoosh! On the building, the woman looked at Xi Ping with affection and threw the ball. What? Xi Ping immediately shouted. He and Zhao Feng stood on either side of the arena. But now, the beautiful female actually threw the ball directly at Xi Ping. Xi Ping was a little embarrassed. Zhao Feng, I'll take this round. Xi Ping immediately jumped out and flew toward the ball. Humph! Zhao Feng snorted angrily. He finally understood that the third punishment almost made Zhao Feng the weaker party in the duel. According to the settings, he and Xi Ping couldn't fight and could only fight over the ball. However, the ball flew toward Xi Ping and was very far away from Zhao Feng. If Zhao Feng's opponent was a sacred lord, Zhao Feng might have lost. Meow meow! The little thieving cat appeared on Zhao Feng's shoulder and patted Zhao Feng, as if it was comforting Zhao Feng. It then twisted its body and took off the dark golden necklace from its neck. The dark golden necklace quickly turned into a bow. When the little thieving cat pulled the bowstring, a dark golden ray of light shot out and hit the red ball. Whoosh! The dark golden ray of light took the ball and retreated. The little thieving cat's weapon had been modified by the Heaven's Legacy City, and its soul had increased dramatically. Zhao Feng took the ball. What? How is this possible? Xi Ping looked at the bow in the little thieving cat's hands in shock. Since this hero has received the silk ball, I will betroth my daughter to you. The chubby middle-aged male in the building sighed. The ball that Zhao Feng received turned into a bright red flower, and a faint fragrance entered Zhao Feng's nose and calmed his mind. Victor, Zhao Feng. A surge of draconic providence then entered Zhao Feng's dragon jade. Xi Ping, I already warned you, but Zhao Feng still caught up to you, and you even lost. The 13th prince's angry roar sounded in Xi Ping's mind. When the scenery around him disappeared, and Zhao Feng appeared in the maze palace once more. Just a moment ago, the general location of the cheater disappeared from everyone's minds. Now, Zhao Feng had randomly appeared in another part of the maze. Everyone felt the direction being pointed in once more. The cheater is in that direction. Many people started to move toward Zhao Feng. Chapter 987. Good job, Zhao Feng! The 9th prince couldn't help but say. Up until now, Olding and Jing Kai had each won 2 matches. Su Qingling tried to avoid fighting under his command, so she didn't win or lose. On the other hand, Zhao Feng had won 3 matches. This meant that his team had won 7 matches. This kind of result should be the best among the 4 princes. The 9th prince obviously knew why. The reason why Olding was able to win 2 matches was because of his careful command. The 9th prince only needed to focus on Olding and Su Qingling, so he was very relaxed. On the other hand, the other princes had at least 5 or 6 people entering the moving maze palace. The 13th prince's team had the most people. 7 people entered the moving maze palace. The other princes had to observe the situation of several people at the same time, communicate with them, and command them. However, they weren't strong enough and made many mistakes. Damn it, Zhao Feng! The 13th prince instantly cursed. He was a member of the labyrinth, and he encountered Zhao Feng and lost. Your Highness, this Zhao Feng seems to be purposely causing trouble for our team members. This Zhao Feng is too damned. It's not like we've offended him. The members behind the 13th prince chatted. The 13th prince's expression became dark. He had just realized that Zhao Feng seemed to be purposely targeting his team members. Humph, you want me to lose? The 13th prince harumphed in anger. Sacred Lord Black Demon, Zhao Feng is to your right. The 13th prince gave Sacred Lord Black Demon directions the instant Zhao Feng returned to the maze palace after his duel scene ended. There were 2 sacred lords in his team that had entered the moving maze palace. Only these 2 sacred lords had a chance of beating Zhao Feng. Hee. Zhao Feng saw Sacred Lord Black Demon approaching him, so he avoided him and started to search for other people nearby. As long as he finished the duel scene, he would randomly appear in the maze palace, and it would be extremely difficult for Sacred Lord Black Demon to find him. Unless Zhao Feng appeared next to Sacred Lord Black Demon, they wouldn't be able to do anything. Another Sacred Lord! Zhao Feng was startled. He quickly changed his route and dodged the attack. A bolt of white lightning bolted through the maze. He had a head full of white hair, but his expression was unusually grave and stern. This person was the number 1 expert of the 4th Prince's team, Sacred Lord 10,000 Lightning of Sky Suspension Palace. The method he adopted now was the same as what Zhao Feng had just thought of. He would charge around in the maze and kill whoever he met. Zhao Feng continued to search for his next target after avoiding Sacred Lord 10,000 Lightning. Let's deal with 13th Prince's and 8th Prince's teams first. In the 3rd round, only 2 princes would advance. The number of matches won by all the members would be determined. The 2 princes with the lowest number of victories would be eliminated. Therefore, he had to lower the number of wins for these 2 princes. The only way was for Zhao Feng to initiate a duel with them and emerge victorious. There was a certain degree of fairness in deciding the winner based on the number of victories. This was because the number of people did not affect the fairness of the game much. If there were too many people, they might be able to win more times, but they might also lose more draconic providence. If that was the case, they would definitely lose the 4th round. The main purpose of this round was to test the princes. Not only did they have to command their members and obtain more victories, they also had to ensure the amount of draconic providence they had. This required a very precise and decisive analysis. The 9th prince's draconic providence is too little. Zhao Feng needed to lower the number of victories for these 2 princes while also taking more draconic providence. Otherwise, how could the 9th prince defeat the 4th prince? Although Zhao Feng's flying beasts were collecting draconic providence with their dragon jades, 2 of his spiritual pets had already met with an accident. Zhao Feng was busy when these 2 spiritual pets met with an accident, so he didn't have time to help them. Therefore, Zhao Feng couldn't place all his hopes on his spiritual pets. Furthermore, if they couldn't win the 3rd round, it would be useless no matter how much draconic providence Zhao Feng collected. Yu Tianhao! Zhao Feng paused for a moment. Yu Tianhao was quickly approaching him. The 8th prince was most likely pointing him in the right direction. If that's the case, then let's have another round. Zhao Feng gave a faint smile. He still remembered Yu Tianhao's declaration of war against him during the fights for the spots. He obviously wouldn't not give Yu Tianhao face. Zhao Feng! Yu Tianhao's expression changed. When the scenery around them changed, the 2 of them appeared in a courtyard surrounded by magnificent golden palaces. Zhao Feng, let's have a showdown. Battle intent surged in Yu Tianhao's eyes, and a limitless surge of intent was about to burst out of his body. That's what I was thinking. The bloodline within Zhao Feng's body started to boil. However, at this moment, a young mistress from a big family walked over with a slightly angry expression. I want to see the battle between spiritual pets! The young mistress yelled at Yu Tianhao and Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng and Yu Tianhao looked at each other. It was obvious that they were going to ignore this young mistress and fight first. Aren't the 2 of you beast tamers in my family? I want to see the battle between spiritual pets. The young mistress became even angrier when she saw that the 2 didn't respond. And you, I don't like you. I don't understand why there's such an ugly beast tamer in the family. The young mistress seemed to be even angrier when she saw Zhao Feng, and she started to curse at Zhao Feng. Yu Tianhao was instantly dazed. Why would the characters in the battle scene look down on Zhao Feng so much? Zhao Feng was speechless. Even if the characters in the scene looked down on him, they didn't have to use his appearance every time. She immediately messaged Yu Tianhao. Yu Tianhao looked at the young mistress and said with a smile, "Miss, we have something to do now. Can you wait for a moment? I'll definitely perform the battle between spiritual pets for you." Yu Tianhao completely repeated Zhao Feng's words. He also knew that he couldn't attack the characters in the scene casually. The young mistress stared deeply into Yu Tianhao's eyes and blushed. Zhao Feng was overjoyed. Sure enough, the non-player characters in the scene would have a good impression of Zhao Feng's opponent. "No, I want to see the battle between spiritual pets." The young mistress's expression changed and she said again, "Yu Tianhao, I'm sorry." Zhao Feng shook his head. The plot setting in the battle scene was relatively rigid. It seemed that it couldn't be changed. Zhao Feng waved his left hand, and a little wind wolf appeared. Yu Tianhao's face was gloomy and he frowned. He felt that his true essence and bloodline seemed to be bound by some rules and couldn't be operated. But he didn't have a spiritual pet either. "I admit defeat." After a long time, Yu Tianhao lowered his head and said unwillingly. He didn't expect that he and Zhao Feng would have such a battle scene. In the end, he lost to a king-level beast. A surge of draconic providence flowed into Zhao Feng's dragon jade, and Yu Tianhao disappeared from this dimension. "Hey, here's your reward." The young mistress didn't like Zhao Feng, so she threw down a few precious ores and left. The scenery around him then disappeared, and Zhao Feng returned to the maze palace. As I thought, luck is indeed very important. Zhao Feng felt sympathy for Yu Tianhao. Even he felt that Yu Tianhao lost unjustly. The draconic providence in the dragon jade is about to reach its limit. Zhao Feng stopped and returned the draconic providence to the 9th prince. At the end, Zhao Feng left behind a piece of draconic providence. Whoosh! Zhao Feng started to search for other members. Zhao Feng has already won 7 times in a row. Shi Yulei couldn't help but exclaim. Apart from Zhao Feng's excellent record, Sacred Lord 10,000 Lightning had won 5 times in a row. Sacred Lord 10,000 Lightning wasn't just strong, he also knew a bit about geography, spiritual pets, and herbs. Even Jing Kai only has 3 wins and 1 loss. The 9th prince had an excited expression. On the other hand, Su Qingling didn't have any wins under the 9th prince's precise command. "Your Highness, the 9th prince's team is a bit weird. They have a very high number of wins." A quasi-sacred lord behind the 4th prince asked as he looked at Zhao Feng, who was walking through the maze palace. "That's good. If the 9th prince can pass, then he will definitely lose in the 4th round." The 4th prince spoke as he talked with the members in the maze palace. And there are only 4 of them in the maze palace. Their efficiency in gathering draconic providence is limited. Senior Marshal Brother Zhuge agreed with the 4th prince. The 9th prince had too little draconic providence. It was almost impossible for him to become the crown prince. On the other side, the 13th prince gritted his teeth as he stared at Zhao Feng. "This brat is indeed targeting my members." If his members didn't fight against Zhao Feng, their records were quite good. However, every time Zhao Feng found his members would lose to Zhao Feng. Not only did they waste time, but they also lost draconic providence. Could this Zhao Feng be a cheater? The 13th prince suddenly exclaimed. He had paid a lot of attention to Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng's actions were extremely fast, and his target was very obvious. It was as if Zhao Feng had a map of the moving maze palace. Zhao Feng defeated his opponent again and returned to the maze palace. Xian Wuheng. Zhao Feng's left eye saw through several walls and found Xian Wuheng's figure. He thought for a moment before charging over. "Xian Wuheng, let's fight as well." Zhao Feng wouldn't be careless against Xian Wuheng, and he wasn't confident that he would win. However, Zhao Feng did want to see Xian Wuheng's skills and spar with him. Zhao Feng's voice. Xian Wuheng's ears moved slightly. In the maze, the transmission of sound was also greatly suppressed. "Okay." Xian Wuheng turned around and flew after receiving the 4th prince's information. The two met at a corner, and the scenery around them changed. When it was an endless stretch of dark mountains. Zhao Feng and Xian Wuheng appeared on a flat piece of land. There were 2 wide and dark paths in front of them. Countless skeletons were scattered on them, and ghostly cries came from the depths. Ahead of them, on a towering black mountain that pierced through the clouds, was a cave. Eerie ghostly flames flickered inside the cave, and an evil aura spread out in all directions. There was an official of the kingdom and countless elite swordsmen behind them. Warriors, please save Her Highness from the Black Iron Dragon. The king will reward you handsomely. At this moment, the official spoke. A battle like this isn't bad either. Zhao Feng couldn't help but laugh when he thought of the battle scene that he had activated with Yu Tianhao. Coincidentally, there are 2 paths here. Let's see who saves the princess first. Xian Wuheng was very interested in this plot. Okay, there are 500 elites here. I'll leave them to this warrior. The official looked at Xian Wuheng excitedly, as if he had placed all his hopes on him. As for this warrior, the official looked at Zhao Feng and frowned, as if he was doubtful of Zhao Feng's ability. There are only 100 elites left. I'll leave them to you. The official shook his head and said unwillingly. Chapter 988. Lao Feng's expression didn't change. He knew this would happen. This official gave him 100 elites but gave Xian Wuheng 500 elite swordsmen. Xian Wuheng paused for a moment before asking, Zhao Feng, you're a cheater, right? His divine sense couldn't even pass through a metal wall in the maze, and his 5 senses were reduced to the minimum. However, Zhao Feng was able to sense him despite being so far away. Xian Wuheng felt that this was very strange. Combined with the attitude of the non-player characters towards Zhao Feng, Xian Wuheng thought of something. There are only 100 elites. I'll be going first. Zhao Feng didn't reply to Xian Wuheng and chose a mountain path. Behind him, 100 elite swordsmen followed in an orderly fashion. These elite swordsmen were all normal emperors, and if they were used well, they would be a powerful force. Let's go! Xian Wuheng exclaimed lightly and led the other 500 swordsmen into another mountain path. The instant Zhao Feng entered the mountain path, strange sounds came from the piles of skeletons on the mountain path and from the ground. Crack! A human-shaped skeleton suddenly jumped out from the ground. It held a large sword and shield, and it had a pair of metal wings on its back. It gave off a violent and evil emperor-level aura. Subsequently, a dense crowd of skeleton guards crawled out from the ground and occupied the entire mountain path. Go! Zhao Feng circulated the 10,000 divine thoughts technique and merged his thoughts into each elite swordsman. He controlled them like he was controlling beasts and charged forward. Sacred lightning dominating body! The scarlet wings of lightning spread behind Zhao Feng's back, and golden lightning flashed around his body as he turned into a ball of scarlet lightning and charged forward. Break! Zhao Feng smashed into the skeleton guards, and his sacred lightning body crushed dozens of them. Sacred lightning dominating fist! The sound of bones cracking came from Zhao Feng's sacred lightning body, and he swung his fists in a weird rhythm, sending out waves of energy. Boom, boom, boom! With the naked eye, one could only see giant fist lights intertwined with golden lightning. They were like metal lightning mountains, glorious and domineering, with terrifying might. Every attack could crush several skeleton guards. As for Zhao Feng's elite swordsmen, they were mainly responsible for clearing the 2 sides and the skeleton guards behind them, keeping up with Zhao Feng's pace. The 2 mountain paths were only 30 meters apart. Zhao Feng tilted his head and saw Xian Wuheng's situation on the other mountain path. Xian Wuheng walked in the middle, and the 500 swordsmen were on both sides of the mountain road, pushing forward together. As Xian Wuheng waved his palms, wondrous ripples of water pushed the skeleton guards to the side. Then, the guards on both sides of the mountain road quickly killed the skeleton guards. Their coordination was perfect, and they were efficient and fast. Moreover, Xian Wuheng did not waste much of his physical strength and true essence. Xian Wuheng! Zhao Feng could not help but exclaim in admiration. Xian Wuheng used a wondrous palm technique and the intent of water to push away all the skeleton guards in his way, leaving them to the elite swordsmen to deal with. This was the full battle power of the 500 elite swordsmen. In the past, Zhao Feng had an ice-water bloodline, and he cultivated the water of wind lightning, but his usage of the intent of water was far inferior to Xian Wuheng's. Humph! Scarlet lightning storm! The scarlet lightning wings on Zhao Feng's back fluttered, and countless wisps of wind lightning true yuan surged out, forming a vast scarlet lightning storm. Whoosh! Zhao Feng charged forward with the terrifying scarlet lightning storm. Whoosh! 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 Before the skeleton guards could even get close to Zhao Feng, they were destroyed and pushed away by the scarlet lightning storm. Zhao Feng quickly moved forward and caught up to Xian Wuheng. The range of Zhao Feng's scarlet lightning storm was extremely large, and it covered the entire mountain road. This way, his 100 elite swordsmen could also quickly destroy the other skeleton guards and catch up to Zhao Feng. I don't know what kind of enemies and dangers lie behind this mountain road. I can't abandon these elite swordsmen, Zhao Feng murmured in his heart. If he abandoned these 100 swordsmen, how was he going to defeat Xian Wuheng, who had 500 elite swordsmen? Fortunately, Zhao Feng had exquisite control over these 100 swordsmen, and their battle power far surpassed the 300 elite swordsmen. On the other side, Xian Wuheng saw that Zhao Feng had quickly overtaken him. Ha! The intent of his palms suddenly changed, and a layer of emerald light surrounded his hands. The injuries of the elite swordsman behind him were immediately healed by this layer of emerald light. Whoosh! Xian Wuheng stood where he was and waved his palms, sending out a strange ripple of intent that merged into the ground. Suddenly, countless thick wooden vines grew on the road in front of Xian Wuheng. The thick, dark green wooden vines surged and crushed some of the skeleton guards into the ground. Whoosh! The other skeleton guards instantly flapped their metal wings and flew into the air. Tongue! Tongue! Xian Wuheng and the elite swordsmen walked on the wooden vines, and as the wooden vines moved, their speed became faster. Facing the attacks of the skeleton guards, the wooden vines in the surroundings moved agilely and entangled them or blocked them. Such a profound wood elemental secret technique! Zhao Feng paused for a moment. Xian Wuheng didn't just use the intent of water to a high level, his intent of wood had also reached the peak. Zhao Feng still remembered that Xian Wuheng had condensed his 5 elemental spatial domain in the divine illusion dimension. This meant that Xian Wuheng's mastery of the 5 elemental intents had reached such a level. Facing such an opponent, Zhao Feng obviously wouldn't hold back. Whoosh! A bright red glass-like flame surrounded Zhao Feng's body. In an instant, Zhao Feng's entire body seemed to be bathed in flames. His entire body was bright red, and with the addition of his sacred lightning body, he seemed like a flaming demonic sovereign. A tyrannical and terrifying aura formed into a ball of raging flames that spread out in all directions. The temperature in the forest suddenly rose. Boom! With the help of the Blood Devil Sun bloodline, Zhao Feng's speed doubled, and he turned into a ball of flaming lightning that charged into the skeleton guards in front of him. Zhao Feng merged the power of the fire of wind lightning and the Blood Devil Sun flame together to form the power of the scarlet lightning blood flame. The scarlet storm of lightning around Zhao Feng was instantly dyed with a layer of exploding blood-colored flames, and its power increased by several times. Rumble! Whoosh! In an instant, the skeleton guards within dozens of yards of Zhao Feng were covered by the dominating power of the scarlet lightning blood flame. Their bodies were set on fire, and their power was quickly drained. Whoosh! The swordsman behind Zhao Feng quickly caught up and easily finished off the skeleton guards. Boom! Zhao Feng left behind a ball of scarlet lightning as he turned into a streak of flaming light and charged out dozens of yards, destroying and igniting another group of skeleton guards. However, facing these skeleton guards, Zhao Feng's perfect Blood Devil Sun bloodline couldn't be used. Therefore, Zhao Feng only used it for a short period of time before stopping and using some resources to recover his energy and true yuan. However, With the speed and explosiveness of the perfect Blood Devil Sun bloodline, Zhao Feng quickly increased the distance between him and Xian Wuheng by several hundred meters. As expected, this terrifying and dominating bloodline should be the perfect Blood Devil Sun bloodline. Xian Wuheng saw Zhao Feng surpass him with unstoppable speed. Such speed and explosiveness definitely didn't belong to a normal Blood Devil Sun bloodline. Furthermore, he could tell that the 100 elite swordsmen of Zhao Feng's moved quickly and attacked the vitals of the skeleton guards. This was all thanks to Zhao Feng's control. Although the bloodline is strong, it won't last long, Xian Wuheng said calmly as he used the profound truths of water and profound truths of wood at a steady pace. He believed that Zhao Feng would need to rest after using the bloodline, and his speed would naturally slow down. As expected of Xian Wuheng. You can still maintain such a calm state of mind even after being surpassed by me. Zhao Feng smiled faintly. Xian Wuheng's method of advancing was extremely stable. His speed wasn't fast or slow, and he didn't use much energy and true yuan. If that's the case, then I'll save the princess before he enters the dragon cave. Zhao Feng's tone was firm. Since Xian Wuheng wasn't in a rush, then he would follow up. Lightning and fire flashed on the surface of Zhao Feng's body. Whoosh! Using the lightning wings flying technique, Zhao Feng continued to push forward. At the same time, he controlled the elite swordsman behind him to keep up. After a while, Zhao Feng's energy had mostly recovered. He once again circulated the perfect Blood Devil Sun bloodline and pushed forward. This Zhao Feng! Xian Wuheng was slightly surprised. He had underestimated Zhao Feng's recovery speed. After a while, Zhao Feng circulated his bloodline again, and the distance between them was getting further and further. In no time, Zhao Feng would reach the top of the mountain and enter the pitch-black cave. This won't do! Xian Wuheng's expression changed drastically. He, who had always been calm and reserved, suddenly exuded a slightly cold and aloof aura. A 5-colored light surrounded Xian Wuheng, slowly forming a small world that enveloped Xian Wuheng within. The little world had the same scenery as the real world, but it was very small, and the little world wasn't stable enough. Whoosh! An extraordinary power of the law fluctuated from Xian Wuheng's small world. Charge! Xian Wuheng said one word, and the little world formed by the 5-colored light flew out first. Whoosh! Dozens of skeleton guards instantly flew up and surrounded Xian Wuheng. Crack! As soon as the skeletal guards came into contact with Xian Wuheng's small world, they were immediately controlled by a terrifying law intent, causing their figures to shatter into pieces. Xian Wuheng left the 500 elites behind him and flew forward. Boom! 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 Along the way, all the skeleton guards that got close to Xian Wuheng were crushed to pieces. Zhao Feng obviously saw this. This is a little world formed by the 5 elements. Zhao Feng was shocked. He had already guessed that in order to form a complete little world that was comparable to the real world, he had to comprehend the 5 elements and merge them into his little world. He didn't expect Xian Wuheng to have already done this. His little world was still in its initial stage, and it wasn't very stable. However, a little world with only one element couldn't be compared to it. At this moment, Xian Wuheng used his little world to charge forward. Blood Devil Charge! Zhao Feng immediately used the Blood Devil Sun's secret technique. The glass-like flames around his body surged, and the sound of explosions could be heard. The image of a crimson sun appeared behind him, and the vortex inside it spun. Boom! 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 Zhao Feng turned into a crimson meteor and charged forward. The power of the crimson flames destroyed everything. Boom! Zhao Feng stomped on the ground and arrived in front of the cave. In the next instant, Xian Wuheng appeared on the other side. Chapter 989. A wicked and forceful aura shook the surroundings in front of a pitch-black cave. Zhao Feng and Xian Wuheng stood on the 2 sides of the cave. The 2 groups of elite swordsmen soon caught up as well. Xian Wuheng, your little world! Zhao Feng wanted to find out more about Xian Wuheng's background. He was only an emperor, yet he was able to control the 5 elements to such a high level and merge them into his little world. After you took over another body and revived, your foundation is not simple either. Xian Wuheng said courteously and didn't mention anything about his little world. Zhao Feng didn't force him. For example, he obviously didn't want to tell anyone about his god's spiritual eye. Shwa! The two of them jumped into the cave at almost the same time. Who is it? How dare you enter my territory? In the depths of the cave, there was a deafening roar of anger. Boom! Boom! A gigantic black dragon, carrying with it a boundless evil aura, directly descended. These 2 ants were sent by that stupid king, right? The giant black metal dragon circled above Xian Wuheng and Zhao Feng, and limitless wicked auras suppressed the 2 of them. At the same time, skeleton guards climbed out of the walls of the cave. Compared to the ones on the mountain path, these skeleton guards were stronger overall. A faint golden ripple spread across Zhao Feng's left eye, and he saw through the mist and the so-called princess in the depths of the cave. Kill them! The black metal dragon roared. The countless skeleton guards in the surroundings immediately launched their attacks. Go! Zhao Feng and Xian Wuheng's elite guards also attacked at the same time. Whoosh! Zhao Feng spread his scarlet wings of lightning and charged toward the black metal dragon. Bam! Zhao Feng clashed with the black metal dragon's claws. His body is strong, and it contains wicked aura, Zhao Feng murmured. The strength of this black metal dragon was slightly weaker than Sacred Lord Black Demon. At this moment, Xian Wuheng leapt into the air and thrust out 2 icy palms that landed on the black metal dragon's wings. The king sent you here to die! The black iron dragon furiously roared, its wings rapidly flapping, and an evil astral energy knocked back Xian Wuheng's palm wind. At the same time, the sinister aura in the cavern gathered toward the black iron dragon. Xian Wuheng, bring out your true abilities! If we don't get rid of it, how are we going to save them? Zhao Feng gave a faint smile. This black iron dragon wasn't something that could be easily dealt with. His true opponent was Xian Wuheng, and Zhao Feng could not afford to be careless. All right. Xian Wuheng nodded and squatted in midair, assuming a strange posture. A formless aura instantly spread out. Boom! Zhao Feng also activated his Blood Devil Sun bloodline, and the explosive power of lightning and fire almost destroyed the air of Yin in the cave. Boom! The 2 of them charged at the giant steel dragon at the same time. Endless explosions reverberated throughout the cavern. Xian Wuheng's casual attacks contained limitless intent, and it was as if he was borrowing the power of the laws of space to unleash the full power of his attacks. Zhao Feng's sacred lightning dominating fist also contained a profound intent, but Zhao Feng hadn't comprehended it enough yet. At this moment, Zhao Feng secretly circulated his left eye and absorbed Xian Wuheng's moves into his dimension so that he could comprehend them in the future. Fire, chilling ice, burn! Xian Wuheng waved his arms, and a weird whirlpool of fire and ice landed on the black iron dragon's head. Sacred lightning dominating fist! Zhao Feng used the power of Blood Devil Sun bloodline and wind lightning to unleash several scorching flames of lightning from his golden Kun's sacred lightning body. Boom! Under the combined attacks of Zhao Feng and Xian Wuheng, the black iron dragon didn't even have the ability to fight back. Plop! The black iron dragon's body fell to the ground. Princess? Xian Wuheng glanced over when he defeated the black iron dragon, and he realized that the princess that was originally in the cavern had disappeared. There! Xian Wuheng's voice sounded once more. At this moment, the princess was with a gray thieving cat. There was a dark golden flying sword under the princess's feet, and it was carrying her out of the cavern. Zhao Feng! Xian Wuheng's expression changed slightly. Zhao Feng had sent his spiritual pets to save the princess from the very beginning. Furthermore, when the 2 of them were fighting the black iron dragon, Zhao Feng purposely created a huge commotion and released powerful true yuan to cover up the little thieving cat's movements. Hu the wings on Zhao Feng's back released a brilliant glow of wind lightning wings, and his speed reached the limit. He turned into an arc of lightning that pierced through the air and disappeared in a flash. You want to leave? Xian Wuheng immediately chased after him, and a green stream of water appeared under his feet. Whoosh! Whoosh! Xian Wuheng glided on the green stream of water, and he quickly flew forward. However, this wasn't a speed secret technique, it was just another use of the intent of water. In terms of speed, he still wasn't as fast as Zhao Feng. Whoosh! Whoosh! Zhao Feng soon caught up to the little thieving cat and the princess after charging out of the cavern. Without saying anything else, Zhao Feng picked up the princess and flew at full speed. The dark golden longsword also twisted and turned into a necklace that he put around the little thieving cat's neck. However, what Zhao Feng was worried about happened. Who are you? What do you want to do? Put me down! The princess instantly roared in anger and struggled out of Zhao Feng's embrace. As expected, the discrimination of non-player characters still appeared. Rise! Xian Wuheng, who was chasing from behind, immediately roared. Rumble! Boom! A row of thick wooden vines suddenly shot out from the ground in front of Zhao Feng and twisted toward Zhao Feng. Little thieving cat, I'll leave it to you. Zhao Feng circulated his sacred lightning body and shook off some of the wooden vines before throwing the princess out. The little thieving cat's figure instantly appeared below the princess and caught her. The necklace around its neck turned into a dark golden longsword that carried the princess away. Zhao Feng, let me see your little world as well. Xian Wuheng's voice sounded from behind. Zhao Feng instantly felt a condensed power of laws and intense crush over. Zhao Feng knew that Xian Wuheng had released his little world of 5 elements. Boom! A desolate and ancient storm of lightning surged out from behind Zhao Feng and slowly merged into the air. Everything within 100 yards instantly turned into a dark dimension filled with storms. The laws and intents left behind in this ancient dimension were controlled by Zhao Feng. When Xian Wuheng's speed instantly slowed down. However, Xian Wuheng, who was within his little world of 5 elements, wasn't affected at all. Furthermore, Zhao Feng could feel that Xian Wuheng's little world of 5 elements was extremely resistant to the restrictions of his little world. Whoosh! Fire and lightning flashed on Zhao Feng's scarlet lightning fire wings as they pushed his speed to the limit. Zhao Feng charged straight at Xian Wuheng and punched out. Limitless flashes of blood-colored fire and lightning released a dazzling light. The power of wind lightning within his little world also flowed into Zhao Feng's fist. In his little world, Zhao Feng's speed and explosive power were both amplified. Condense! Xian Wuheng lightly spat out a single word. His little world of 5 elements instantly retracted the profound laws and intents and started to circulate in a strange rhythm. Boom! The two clashed, and Xian Wuheng's little world of 5 elements shook and then started to spin rapidly. A 5-colored light appeared on the surface of his little world and quickly diverted the power of Zhao Feng's fist. Whoosh! Whoosh! Xian Wuheng's little world of 5 elements circulated to the limit, and the power of Zhao Feng's fist was slowly being worn away. Crack! A crack appeared in Xian Wuheng's little world of 5 elements. At the same time, a powerful rebounding force rushed out from the side. Whoosh! Although Zhao Feng sensed it, he was half a step too late, and one of his scarlet lightning fire wings was destroyed. Zhao Feng was slightly stunned. He didn't expect that Xian Wuheng would be able to block Zhao Feng's all-out attack in his little world. Brother Zhao's little world is also extraordinary. The power of Xian Wuheng's little world disappeared. Xian Wuheng had always been very confident in his little world. However, Zhao Feng's little world was also extraordinary. It could actually merge with the primordial space and control the laws of the primordial space. This was something that he couldn't do in a short time. He had never suffered such a loss in a little world battle. So far, I haven't been able to hurt Brother Xian. Zhao Feng revealed a smile. Winner, Zhao Feng! At this moment, a mechanical voice sounded in their minds. However, I've lost this time. Xin Wuheng smiled faintly as his figure slowly disappeared from this dimension. Whoosh! Zhao Feng immediately returned to the ministers and received some rewards. The battle between Zhao Feng and Xin Wuheng obviously attracted the attention of many princes and the outside forces. Strictly speaking, the two were on par. However, Zhao Feng had many techniques and spiritual pets, which was why he won. The names of Zhao Feng and Xin Wuheng once again spread across the Lord Dynasty forces. When Zhao Feng returned to the Maze Palace once more. I can't keep fighting now. Zhao Feng's expression returned to normal. He had wasted a lot of time fighting with Xin Wuheng, but he won in the end. When a mysterious ripple of faint golden light radiated from Zhao Feng's left eye, he locked onto a member of the 13th Prince's team with just one scan. This member seemed to have received a hint from the 13th Prince to stay far away from Zhao Feng. However, would he be able to escape? Yao Feng's scarlet wings of lightning fluttered rapidly as he started to fly through the Maze Palace. As the Maze Palace continued to move, many princes started to lose energy and made mistakes. 2 people had already lost 10 matches and left the Maze Palace. The person with the most wins was still Zhao Feng. He had won 16 matches in a row and hadn't lost a single match. The person with the second most wins was still Sacred Lord 10,000 Lightning. At this moment, the 13th Prince had changed his strategy and stopped targeting Zhao Feng. The third stage was decided by the number of wins. Right now, the 9th Prince's team's number of wins was only below his and the 4th Prince's. One had to know that the 9th Prince's team only had 4 people playing, and Su Qingling had only won 1 match. It was incredible that she had such a result. Just as everyone was sighing in surprise, Zhao Feng had already won 17 matches in a row. Sacred Lord Black Demon, to the left, to the right. The 13th Prince was fully focused on commanding the 2 Sacred Lords in the Maze Palace, and had almost given up on the other members. The 13th Prince had a lot of draconic providence, so he wasn't afraid of losing. All he needed to do now was ensure that the 9th Prince didn't surpass him. Only then would he be able to win in the 3rd stage. On the other side, the 8th Prince knew that he wouldn't be able to win this stage, but he still focused on commanding the members in the Maze Palace. He would only occasionally glance at Zhao Feng. The 9th Prince was the most excited out of the 4 princes present. His pseudo-crown prince seal had regained its luster. Under his command, Old Ying's results were also very good. I choose to leave. A beast tamer from the 4th Prince's team finally spoke. He had just lost 10 matches, but he had won 5. It was a pretty good performance. There's only 2 hours left until the end of the 3rd stage. The transparent elder's voice sounded in the sky at this moment. Chapter 990. There's only 2 hours left until the end of the 3rd stage. The transparent elder's voice sounded in the sky at this moment. The hearts of the 4 princes and the members within the Maze Palace instantly tightened. The Crown Prince trial was about to reach the end. Don't panic! The 4th Prince immediately messaged everyone. The 4th Prince only needed to obtain as much draconic energy as possible in order to ensure that he would win the last stage without any surprises. The 13th Prince had an enraged expression as he stared at Zhao Feng within the Maze Palace. Even if I can't become the Crown Prince, I won't let the 9th Prince win. Originally, the 13th Prince had a high chance of becoming the Crown Prince. However, the black-robed person had been defeated by Zhao Feng in the Crown Prince trial, and he had lost the super battle power. At the same time, Zhao Feng had targeted his members within the Maze Palace and stolen a large amount of draconic energy, causing the gap between the 13th Prince and the 4th Prince to become bigger and bigger. On the other side, the 8th Prince gave up on the fight. Only one Sacred Lord had entered the moving Maze Palace, and there was also a doctor. Adding on the fact that he didn't have much draconic providence in the first place, he knew that not only would it be difficult for him to win the 3rd stage, there was no hope for him to win the 4th stage. At this moment, almost all 3 princes knew that Zhao Feng was a cheater. However, they didn't know what benefits Zhao Feng had obtained by cheating. Therefore, the three princes tried to keep the members of the Maze Palace away from Xiao Feng. Xiao Feng, we're only 7 winds away from the 13th prince. The 9th prince messaged Xiao Feng. The 9th prince didn't care if he could become the crown prince or not. He just wanted to do his best and last until the end so that he could obtain the recognition of the sacred emperor and the imperials. In order to enter the city faster, shrink the Maze Palace. The transparent elder's voice sounded. The 9th prince paused for a moment. If the map was shrunk, then it would be even more difficult for Su Qingling to avoid most people. However, on the other hand, Xiao Feng would be able to enter the battlefield faster and obtain more wins. If that's the case, I still have hope. The 13th prince's expression changed. The shrinking of the moving maze was probably good news for him. The strength of his members generally surpassed the 8th prince and the 9th prince. It was only because his commanding skills were not good enough that his results were relatively low. If the map was shrunk, it would be easier for his members to activate the battlefield duel with the weaker members. Following this, as long as Zhang Xian could maintain the number of victories and reduce the draconic luck of the 4th prince as much as possible, it was not impossible for him to vie for the position of crown prince. Sacred Lord Black Demon, don't bother with Xiao Feng anymore. Let's focus on winning. Also, Li Ha admit defeat if he loses 10 matches. The 13th prince immediately sent a message to the other members, telling them to change their strategy. Rumble. The maze in front of the 4 princes began to enlarge. Inside the labyrinth, the moving black steel walls slowly sealed off the edge of the terrain. At this moment, 3 or 4 figures could be seen around Xiao Feng. Although they were also avoiding Xiao Feng, the maze space was too small. The maze has shrunk. This way, it's best if Su Qingling loses 10 matches and leaves. Xiao Feng messaged the 9th prince. Su Qingling might have a chance to win a few matches while there were some weaker members in the moving maze palace. Whoosh! Xiao Feng locked onto a member of the 13th prince's team and sped through the maze palace toward his target. The continuous battles had caused Xiao Feng to feel somewhat exhausted. Not only was he using the battlefield absolute, he also split off a part of his consciousness to observe the situation of the flying spiritual pets outside of the Heaven's Legacy City. On top of that, he also had to command and help Jing Kai. Luckily, his mental energy and the power of his soul were strong. There are too many variables, Senior Marshal Brother Zhuge said from behind the 4th prince. After the maze palace shrunk, it became even more troublesome for the princes to command. Furthermore, there were battlefield duels happening at every moment. The continuous battles made all the members tired, and their condition dropped. Sacred Lord 10,000 Lightning lost a match! A member exclaimed. Sacred Lord 10,000 Lightning was the Sacred Lord with the most experience, strength, and foundation in the 4th prince's team. After 12 consecutive victories, he finally lost. This Xiao Feng hasn't lost a single match yet. A quasi-sacred lord looked at Xiao Feng in shock. Xiao Feng had already won 18 times in a row, but he hadn't lost yet. He also knew that it was because of Xiao Feng's wins that the 9th prince was able to fight against the other princes in this segment. Not only that, but the 9th prince's command of the other members is also very accurate. Zhuge Yan added. The 4th prince was the strongest of the princes, but in terms of commanding the members, he wasn't as good as the 9th prince. Time slowly passed by. I choose to leave. Su Qingling disappeared from the maze palace and returned to the 9th prince's platform. It's fine. At least you won 3 matches. Shu Yulei smiled and said. After all, Su Qingling was only a member of the younger generation, and there was a huge difference between her and the experts in the maze palace. Xiao Feng has already won 23 matches in a row. We will win. Zhou Su'er suddenly smiled and said. What? 23 consecutive wins? Although the 9th prince had told her that Xiao Feng's battle record was very good, they still had hope. However, Su Qingling was still shocked after knowing Xiao Feng's true achievements. 23 consecutive victories without a single defeat. What kind of person was this young man? Xiao Feng won again, 24 consecutive victories! Shi Yulei exclaimed and couldn't help but cheer. I quit! A member of the 13th Prince's team was targeted by Zhao Feng. He lost 10 matches and left the game. The hearts of all the forces in the Great Qian dynasty tensed up. The third stage of the Crown Prince trial was nearing its end. At this time, the mobile maze was shrinking. The situation of the battle was changing rapidly. Everyone was looking forward to the 9th Prince's team, the Black Horse. At some point in time, the 9th Prince was only 3 wins away from surpassing the 13th Prince. One had to know that the 13th Prince had 5 members moving around in the Maze Palace. On the other hand, the 9th Prince only had 1 Emperor and 2 quasi-sacred lords, Zhao Feng, Olding, and Jing Kai. The 4th Prince is still way ahead. I think that the 4th Prince will definitely become the Crown Prince this time. That might not be the case. The 13th Prince's team is extremely strong. As long as they win more than the 9th Prince, they might be able to defeat the 4th Prince. I think that the 9th Prince's team will continue to create miracles. We don't even know who the Crown Prince will be. The forces all expressed their opinions. Chen'er, the 13th Prince's uncle, and the forces behind him were all worried for him. Even if the 13th Prince defeated the 9th Prince, it would be extremely difficult for him to fight against the 4th Prince. They all knew that the 13th Prince was too young and lacking in many aspects. Otherwise, his team would definitely be able to force the 4th Prince to fight. This Zhao Feng, Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss of 9 Darkness Palace's voice sounded. If it wasn't for the fact that Zhao Feng was targeting him, the 13th Prince would have a lot of hope. In front of the main hall of the Imperial Palace, the expression of the Sacred Emperor changed dramatically. It was obvious that the current situation had surpassed his expectations. The Sacred Empress's gaze was filled with hatred as she looked at Zhao Feng. Suddenly, an uproar came from the main hall of the Lord Dynasty and the clouds. Zhao Feng finally lost a match. I didn't expect him to lose to an elder of the Jade Ocean sect. There's nothing that can be done about it. That scene is a test of experience, and Zhao Feng is just too young. Many experts and forces were discussing among themselves. Within the 8th Prince's main hall, I think that they're paying more attention to Zhao Feng than the princes. Duke Na Feng gave a faint smile. Just one loss from Zhao Feng attracted the attention of many forces in the Lord Dynasty. I didn't expect the 9th Prince to reach this step. A representative from a 2-star power sighed emotionally. Indeed, most of the forces that supported the 9th Prince didn't expect him to have such a performance. Right now, as long as the 9th Prince won more matches than the 13th Prince, he would be able to enter the 4th stage. Even if he lost in the end, the 9th Prince's status in the Imperials would increase by a lot. Good, the 9th Prince is only 2 more matches away from surpassing the 13th Prince. An elder from another force exclaimed in shock. After the moving maze palace shrank, Zhao Feng's number of wins increased at a shocking rate. Jing Kai also won a match. The 9th Prince's number of wins increased once again. Olding was lucky enough to win against his opponent. The entire Lord Dynasty instantly started to shake, and the sound of cheering spread across 1,000 miles. The 9th Prince's number of wins was the same as the 13th Prince's. Within the Maze Palace. How is this possible? Brother 9th Prince's members are clearly so weak. How are they winning all the time? The 13th Prince roared into the sky. The 13th Prince's mind had already crumbled at this point in the moving maze palace. His guidance and command had always been a mess. The members that talked to him in the maze palace knew this. Good. Olding, turn left. Forward, turn left again. The 9th Prince and Olding were extremely excited. Because Su Qiling had left, the 9th Prince only needed to command Olding. This meant that Olding was basically borrowing the 9th Prince's vision to see the layout of the maze palace and the distribution of the members. It was even more convenient and comprehensive than Zhao Feng's see-through vision. Zhao Feng, fight me. Yu Tianhao's voice suddenly sounded within the maze palace. Yu Tianhao obviously knew that Zhao Feng was cheating. Zhao Feng didn't want to fight him, and he couldn't even see Zhao Feng's shadow. Zhao Feng, who had just come out of the duel scene, happened to hear what Yu Tianhao said. Then let's do it, Zhao Feng murmured to himself. Right now, the 9th prince's number of wins had surpassed the 13th prince's. If nothing unexpected happened, the 13th prince wouldn't be surpassed. If that was the case, then Zhao Feng would fulfill Yu Tianhao's request. Zhao Feng's gaze looked toward the source of the voice and soon found Yu Tianhao's figure. Whoosh! Whoosh! Zhao Feng dodged several people on the way and charged toward Yu Tianhao. Zhao Feng, you're finally here. Yu Tianhao's eyes paused for a moment before releasing a surge of battle intent. When the scenery around them changed, and the two appeared in a desolate desert. Chapter 991. Dozens of black figures floated behind Zhao Feng, and a shocking murderous aura seemed to materialize. Lord Demon Lord, the person in front of us is our greatest enemy. Kill him, and we'll rule the continent. The entire continent will be at our feet. Zhao Feng understood. In this scene, he was the biggest villain of an island zone, and he was trying to conquer the entire continent. Yu Tianhao, who was standing opposite him, was obviously the hero who saved the continent. Behind Yu Tianhao, there were several figures that were floating and holy. Lord Battle King, quickly kill this demon! Only by doing this can we save the world! Fighting spirit appeared in Yu Tianhao's deep black eyes. This kind of battle scene was perfect for him. Also, the environment here was very similar to the place where he fought against Zhao Feng in the Azure Flower continent. Yu Tianhao even had a feeling. He and Zhao Feng had returned to the time when he fought against Zhao Feng in the Azure Flower continent. However, the difference between him and Zhao Feng wasn't that big right now. They were both emperors. Zhao Feng, let me see the perfect Blood Devil Sun bloodline! Yu Tianhao's bloodline started to boil under the influence of fighting spirit. Wu, an ancient and mysterious, icy shadow, in the shape of a human, overlapped with Yu Tianhao's body. Instantly, Yu Tianhao's actions were exactly the same as the icy figure behind him. His every move had a fighting spirit that could make ghosts cry, and he destroyed all the power around him. In that instant, Yu Tianhao seemed to be possessed by the god of war. The air around him was covered in a layer of orange light that shot into the sky. Unparalleled in the world! A powerful mental energy appeared from Yu Tianhao's body as he attacked out of nowhere. A magnificent palm light shot out from Yu Tianhao's palm, like a mysterious aura that traversed the 4 directions. Boom! 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 This palm aura shattered everything and instantly appeared in front of Zhao Feng, landing directly on Zhao Feng's body. Boom! A dark yellow desert storm spread out in all directions in a circle. Bang! An earth-shattering, dazzling red light suddenly burst out from within. Hoo-hoo! The entire desert storm was directly torn apart by a thunderous yang-yen. In the center of the desert storm, Zhao Feng was like a blood-lightning demonic sovereign, and the terrifying power of fire and lightning could destroy everything. The blazing saint energy of the physique clashed with the earth-shattering battle will. Boom! Boom! Scarlet and orange light flashed between the two. As expected of the perfect Blood Devil Sun bloodline, it's on the same level as the unparalleled heaven battling bloodline. Yu Tianhao could feel his bloodline being pushed to its limit. A terrifying battle intent enveloped him. Yu Tianhao felt as if he had turned into the mysterious giant figure. His strength had reached its peak, as if it was about to burst out. The mysterious illusory figure behind him instantly enlarged and became even more solid. His battle prowess has increased so quickly. Bao Feng's expression turned solemn. Zhao Feng had a certain level of understanding towards Yu Tianhao's bloodline. This was a terrifying bloodline that allowed one to become stronger the more they fought, and it could continuously increase their battle power. But at this moment, the two of them had only exchanged blows once, yet Yu Tianhao's spirit and fighting spirit had suddenly risen to a terrifying level. His battle power was now comparable to a sacred lord's. Come! Zhao Feng's glass-like flaming body suddenly released the sound of exploding flames. Bam! Zhao Feng left behind a flaming figure as he closed in on Yu Tianhao and punched out. Limitless power of blood-colored flames and lightning crushed over along with the pressure of the sacred lightning body. Bam! Yu Tianhao thrust out his palm, and an orange light that was as bright as the sun appeared. The power of this palm was actually on par with the Blood Devil Sun bloodline, which specialized in explosive power. Whoosh! A glass-like flame instantly landed on Nan Gongxing's cold figure and started to burn. Ignition, corrosion, and life-steal! Yu Tianhao's expression shook slightly. This was the first time he had seen the power of the perfect Blood Devil Sun bloodline, and it was indeed terrifying. Unparalleled secret technique, chaotic dance of spring and autumn! Yu Tianhao's black hair blew in the wind, and a bright light covered his body like the armor of the god of war. Immediately, the humanoid figure behind him seemed to have put on a layer of God of War's armor. The ignition effect of the Blood Devil Sun bloodline was countered to a certain degree, and the flames soon started to disappear. Bam! Bam! Yu Tianhao's palms and fists unleashed a barrage of attacks that could topple mountains and flip oceans. Every punch contained unparalleled battle intent that crushed everything in its path. Zhao Feng became more and more courageous as he fought, and the flames around his body burned furiously. His entire body was a transparent, blood-colored glass treasure that occasionally flashed with lightning. Zhao Feng's soul intent had reached the level of a sacred lord, and with the powerful defense of the sacred lightning body, he wasn't scared of Yu Tianhao's attacks at all. Furthermore, the life-steal effect of his Blood Devil Sun bloodline was still effective in battle. Bam! Bam! As Zhao Feng waved his fists, limitless explosive power of lightning and fire erupted like a volcano. Every attack contained unparalleled explosive power. After fighting Tai Lingyun last time, Zhao Feng's control over the Blood Devil Sun bloodline was extremely smooth. Zhao Feng suppressed the energy consumption of the Blood Devil Sun bloodline to the lowest, but he could still unleash it when he attacked. However, he had to admit that the current Yu Tianhao, whether it was his offense or defense, had risen to a terrifying degree. Even with Zhao Feng's explosive power, he wasn't able to injure Zhao Feng much. Boom! The sounds of their battle shook the heavens and the earth. In the midst of the countless storms that filled the sky, shocking red and orange lights continuously burst out. Zhao Feng, bring out your true abilities! Yu Tianhao was like a peerless god of war. His entire body and the cold figure behind him released a bright light that seemed to be able to swallow heaven and earth. His battle intent rose once again, and it surpassed normal sacred lords. That's good. After all, I don't have much time left. Zhao Feng retreated dozens of yards and left a trail of blood-colored flames in his wake. Blood Devil Charge! The glass-like flames around Zhao Feng's body surged, and the sound of explosions could be heard. The image of a blood-colored sun started to appear behind him, and a whirlpool started to spin. Vroom! Zhao Feng's figure flashed and arrived in front of Yu Tianhao, leaving behind a streak of light. Bam! Zhao Feng punched out. In that instant, it was as if all the power of the blood-colored flames in his body had been injected into his fist and exploded like lava. The terrifying blood-colored flames and lightning completely engulfed Yu Tianhao and the cold figure behind him. Boom! The burning and corrosive effects of the Blood Devil Sun bloodline were instantly activated. Yu Tianhao and the figure behind him started to burn like a mountain of fire. Unparalleled god of war! Yu Tianhao spat out a single word while his body was covered in flames. When every inch of the ice-cold shadow behind him shone with bright orange light. Yu Tianhao's body was like an orange sun. Every single ripple on his body was closely connected to the ice-cold shadow. When a pair of scarlet-orange eyes suddenly appeared in the cold figure, and a terrifying battle intent was released. In that instant, Yu Tianhao had completely turned into this cold figure. The battle intent in his eyes formed an invisible force that could crush the minds of sacred lords. Who, under the support of this absolute power, the blood-colored yang flames on the surface of the giant phantom's body were instantly shattered. Barbarian God Axe! Yu Tianhao's eyes were like the dark stars. He raised his palm and waved it. An earth-shattering cracking sound came from the empty space. An orange-colored giant axe could be vaguely seen. His battle energy was like a rainbow. It seemed to be able to split the heavens and the earth. What terrifying battle power! At this instant, even Zhao Feng felt as if he was facing a mountain as he endured the limitless battle intent. Not even Zhao Feng dared to take this attack head-on. Zhao Feng, things aren't looking good. The 13th prince has surpassed us. The 9th prince's voice sounded at this moment. The 9th prince also knew about Zhao Feng's current situation, but he had no choice but to inform Zhao Feng of this news. If that's the case... Zhao Feng's expression suddenly became calm. Although his battle with Xian Wuheng and Yu Tianhao was also to satisfy himself. However, he knew very well what was most important at the moment. Boom! Behind Zhao Feng, a primordial, thunderstorm power surged out and slowly merged with the void. Everything within a radius of 1,000 feet instantly turned into a dark space where storms wreaked havoc. A few traces of the ancient space's profound mysteries were under Zhao Feng's control. At the same time, a flash of golden lightning appeared around Zhao Feng's scarlet glass-like body, and an ancient blood-colored barrier of lightning and fire appeared around his body. Zhao Feng didn't wait for Nan Gongxing's peerless attack to arrive. If he did, the power of that attack would be even more terrifying after accumulating power for a while. Tongue! Zhao Feng flew into the air and pushed out with both palms. He condensed the sacred lightning body and the power of ancient lightning into his sacred lightning protection. At the same time, the power of wind lightning in the little world of wind lightning also gathered around Zhao Feng. At this instant, Zhao Feng was like a god of lightning in the little world of wind lightning as scarlet-colored lightning surrounded his body. Bam! Boom! The scarlet-colored lightning and the dazzling orange light clashed together. The entire dimension of the duel started to tremble, and a sandstorm started to rise. It was as if the world was ending. Whoosh! The next instant, a scarlet-colored bolt of lightning shot out and arrived before Yu Tianhao. God-eye disintegration! Zhao Feng immediately used the new eye bloodline technique of his left eye. Only this move could counter Yu Tianhao, whose battle power had increased limitlessly. Boom! Boom! When the sandstorm calmed down, Yu Tianhao was lying on the ground with blood and sweat all over his body. Winner, Zhao Feng! The next instant, the two returned to the maze palace. Zhao Feng used some precious herbs and opened the ability of his left eye to find the enemy. Zhao Feng, you just defeated Yu Tianhao. Our number of wins is the same as the 13th prince's again. The 9th prince's voice sounded. Got it! Zhao Feng replied. He was too focused on Yu Tianhao's battle and didn't have the time to help Jing Kai. This caused the number of wins to slow down, and they were overtaken. After all, the 9th prince's team had 5 people walking through the moving maze palace. There was only a bit of time left. Zhao Feng wouldn't let the 13th prince surpass the 9th prince. Chapter 992. Although the moving maze had entered its final stage, it was still too late. However, the battle between Zhao Feng and Yu Tianhao still attracted the attention of most people. That was a clash between the unparalleled heaven-battling bloodline and the perfect blood devil sun bloodline. However, when Yu Tianhao unleashed his peerless battle prowess, he was inexplicably defeated. The experts in the imperial tombs could only see through the illusory sphere, but they couldn't sense any aura. But that battle had been concealed by the desert storm. What happened? The perfect blood devil sun bloodline actually defeated the unparalleled heaven-battling bloodline. A quasi-sacred lord was stunned. In the imperial Dao bloodline rankings, the unparalleled heaven-battling bloodline was ranked slightly higher than the perfect blood devil sun bloodline. Judging from his performance at that time, Yu Tianhao's aura was stronger. All the mysteries were covered up by the sandstorm. In the Great Qin Dynasty Palace, the image on the giant light screen was even more blurry and the situation could not be seen clearly. How did Tianhao lose? Yu Linghua was surprised. With the uniqueness of the unparalleled heaven-battling bloodline, the more he fought, the stronger he would become. Only a few taboo methods could affect it. Not long after, Yu Tianhao won 10 matches. Winning 10 matches and losing 10 matches were the conditions to leave the maze. Yu Tianhao immediately chose to quit. He had already suffered some injuries, and the side effects of activating the unparalleled heaven-battling bloodline made it impossible for him to continue fighting. Moreover, the battle with Zhao Feng had ended, and his wish had been fulfilled. Tianhao, what happened? Yu Linghua asked immediately. Eye technique. Yu Tianhao gave a simple reply. He also knew that what Zhao Feng was truly good at was eye techniques. However, he hadn't expected Zhao Feng's eye bloodline technique to have reached such a level that it could suppress the characteristics of the unparalleled heaven-battling bloodline. How's your win count now? Yu Tianhao asked. The 4th prince has 61 matches, and the 13th prince and the 9th prince have 52 matches. Yu Linghua reported the current battlefield data. There was only a bit of time left before the moving maze ended. At this moment, there were less than 15 people left in the moving maze. It was already certain that the 4th prince would emerge victorious in this round. Therefore, he left 3 of his strongest cultivators in the labyrinth in order to plunder the draconic providence. Jing Kai had left the 9th prince's team as well. In order to help Jing Kai, Zhao Feng had to be distracted. Besides, Jing Kai wasn't very strong in all aspects. The 13th prince did the same. He only left 4 people to walk through the maze palace, and told the weaker people to leave. The 9th prince and the 13th prince looked at each other from afar, and an invisible aura of a duel was released. The data of the two was always the same, fluctuating. It was hard to predict who would win in the end. Of the 9th prince's team, only Zhao Feng and Olding were in the maze palace, and the 13th prince had 4 people. Therefore, even with Zhao Feng's help, the 9th prince didn't have absolute confidence in winning. Look, the 13th prince's victory count has increased. Humph, Zhao Feng's match is about to end. Who will win? At this moment, everyone's heart tightened as they paid attention to the 13th prince and the 9th prince's wins. Although in most people's hearts, the 4th prince should be the final winner. The princes that were able to enter the last segment and fight against the 4th prince were obviously the most famous princes below the crown prince. The final ranking of the crown prince trial would decide the prince's status in the Lord dynasty in the future. Both of them have won 53 times. The 2 princes were still at the same number of wins. There's not enough time. Zhao Feng's eyes scanned around. Sacred Lord Black Demon was the closest to him. You're the one. Zhao Feng charged towards Sacred Lord Black Demon. The Crown Prince trial has ended. All those that didn't participate in the duel can leave now. The illusionary old man's voice echoed in the sky. The sound of metal clashing could be heard from the maze palace below as it started to shrink. All the other members also retreated out of the room. But above the labyrinth, 2 incorporeal spheres suddenly floated out. These were the battles that had just started after the Crown Prince trial ended. One of the balls contained Ji Dengtian and the 4th Prince's quasi-sacred lords. The other ball contained Zhao Feng and Sacred Lord Black Demon. At the very last moment, the 9th Prince and the 13th Prince are still at the same level. However, there's still one more match between Sacred Lord Black Demon and Zhao Feng. This is the deciding match between the 2 princes. The 13th Prince's hands trembled. Sacred Lord Black Demon, it's all up to you now. Although Sacred Lord Black Demon had lost to Zhao Feng in the first round, the 13th Prince knew that it was because Sacred Lord Black Demon didn't know the rules of the Maze Palace very well. Sacred Lord Black Demon had the highest number of wins in the 13th Prince's team, so the 13th Prince trusted Sacred Lord Black Demon a lot. However, his opponent was Zhao Feng, and this was what the 13th Prince was worried about. Zhao Feng had the highest number of wins, and he had only lost once so far. Zhao Feng, defeat him! The 9th Prince had a decisive gaze. He trusted Zhao Feng a lot, but nothing was absolute. And Zhao Feng's level of exhaustion was something that no one else could compare to. Zhao Feng had fought the most out of everyone, and he even used a secret technique to control Jing Kai and help the ninth prince share some of the pressure. Jiang! The giant black maze palace shrank into a small piece of metal that floated into the transparent elder's hand before disappearing. First place is the fourth prince with 62 wins. Second place is yet to be determined. We'll wait for the final result, the transparent elder said. In an instant, everyone's gazes gathered on the ball where Zhao Feng and Sacred Lord Black Demon were. It was a plain with many weird trees that were thousands of yards tall. Sacred Lord Black Demon and Zhao Feng appeared at the same time. They didn't reveal any hatred or battle intent. Instead, they were extremely calm and carefully inspected their surroundings. They knew that this was the deciding match, so they couldn't be careless. Uncle, my kite is stuck on that tree. Can you help me get it down? A young child next to Zhao Feng and Sacred Lord Black Demon jumped up and down in joy. Why is it this scene again? Sacred Lord Black Demon's expression changed. The first match between him and Zhao Feng was also this scene. A child like this said the same thing? And the final deciding round seemed to have returned to the starting point, back to this scene. However, the content of the scene seemed to have changed. There were countless weird trees that were thousands of yards tall around them. There were 4 to 5 kites on top of each tree. Little friend, what does your kite look like? Sacred Lord Black Demon forced out a warm smile. At this moment, there were at least several thousand kites in this scene. Therefore, he obviously had to ask what this child's kite looked like before he could take it. It has eyes and lines on it. It's very cute. This young child described it in his own way. This? Sacred Lord Black Demon's face darkened. He really wanted to slap this little brat to death, but he couldn't be rash. However, he could not be impulsive. This was the final deciding round, and he had to win. He didn't just want the 13th prince to defeat the 9th prince, he also wanted to defeat Zhao Feng. However, Sacred Lord Black Demon had eliminated a small portion of kites from this child's description, but he still didn't know where to start. The wings behind Zhao Feng's back released a burst of lightning as he flew into the distance. How is this possible? Does Zhao Feng already know what this child's kite looks like? Sacred Lord Black Demon was stunned and panicked. That's a red kite! Sacred Lord Black Demon instantly realized what was going on. He only had a red kite in his first match with Zhao Feng. Sacred Lord Black Demon was able to remember what this kite looked like. This meant that there was a high chance that this red kite was this child's kite. Black Demon escape! Sacred Lord Black Demon instantly used a secret speed technique. Countless streaks of black light appeared around his legs as he chased after Zhao Feng. Although Zhao Feng took the initiative, it wasn't like he didn't have a chance. This time, both of them were prepared for the gravitational pull, so they were much faster. Zhao Feng arrived at the top of a tree and grabbed a kite with each hand. Zhao Feng, hand over the kite! Sacred Lord Black Demon had already released the projection of his little world and covered the area. He then used a secret speed technique and charged toward Zhao Feng. Whoosh! Whoosh! Zhao Feng spun in the air and dove down. At the same time, he unleashed his little world of wind lightning. Bam! 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 Zhao Feng and Sacred Lord Black Demon clashed together with the power of their little worlds. This time, Sacred Lord Black Demon caught up to Zhao Feng, so Zhao Feng's distance was very short, and his explosive power wasn't very strong. Bam! The two figures each retreated hundreds of feet. Sacred Lord Black Demon had a treasure that could adapt to this dimension, so his little world projection could merge into the air as well. Zhao Feng did not gain the upper hand in the collision of the small world's power. However, this was enough to shock countless experts in the outside world. An emperor's little world could fight against a sacred lord's little world projection. His little world! Sacred Lord Black Demon had an ugly expression even though he had seen Zhao Feng's little world before. However, he didn't expect Zhao Feng's pocket world to be so powerful. Bang! Zhao Feng dove down once again. The power of the two small worlds collided with one another. Wind Lightning Eye Flame! Zhao Feng suddenly circulated his left eye, and a transparent purple and gold lightning fire landed on Sacred Lord Black Demon. Swoosh! While Sacred Lord Black Demon was being attacked, Zhao Feng flew past Sacred Lord Black Demon and toward the child. Don't run! Sacred Lord Black Demon struggled for a while and broke free from Zhao Feng's eye bloodline technique. Firstly, his soul intent was higher than normal Sacred Lords, and he also had a soul Dao treasure. Even though Zhao Feng's eye bloodline technique contained the power of God Tribulation Lightning, it would only be able to injure him a little. Zhao Feng waved his hand and released the beast horde and the sky-shaking golden apes behind him. Whoosh! Whoosh! Zhao Feng arrived next to the child. This kite! The child looked at Zhao Feng, a conflicted look on his face. Zhao Feng's eyes became grim, and he cursed in his heart. This kite was made of a unique material and contained the power of laws, so it couldn't be put into his interspatial dimension. The battle just now had caused the shape of the kite to become slightly twisted. On top of that, the child looked at Zhao Feng with disgust. This was discrimination towards non-players. Even if this kite belonged to the child, something had changed. You're tuning in to the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.